3 FM. 92.7 3 FM. 3 FM. 92.7 3 FM. 92.7 3 FM. 92.7 3 FM. 92.7 3 FM. 90.
The best in the morning is on 92.7. Sunrise on 3 FM. The best in the morning is on 92.7. Sunrise on 3 FM.
Hello and welcome to the 6 a.m. news here on 3FM 92.7. This bulletin is coming to you live from our studios at Adeselwe Kenda and also coming to you live on Kesmi 107.1 FM. I am Enyunam Haliga. Coming up this morning, Christian Council of Ghana appeals to President John Dramani Mahama to complete the National Cathedral building.
We believe that the cathedral's completion under a transparent, accountable, and inclusive framework would serve as a spiritual and cultural landmark.
Also in this bulletin, Office of the Special Prosecutor filed 78 charges against the wanted former Finance Minister, Kenneth Ofori-Atta.
And today, Kisi is presenting us with these charges. Too little, too late. There is a half-hearted attempt at a half-baked solution.
In March later, Finance Minister Dr. Kasila to force and renegotiate contract terms with Indian company Tata Consultancy Services.
Mr. Speaker, because the process of competitive sourcing was truncated, I asked the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority to further renegotiate the program.
We'll bring you details of our headlines and other stories. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Now, we'll start off with some health stories as the Ghana Health Service has warned of an outbreak of Marburg disease in Ethiopia with 9 confirmed cases and 3 deaths. The service, in a release last night, indicated that in view of the frequent travels of Ghanaians to and from Ethiopia, it has revamped efforts to safeguard the public against the disease. It was highlighted that heightened surveillance at various points of entry. It has therefore warned the public to look out for suspicious signs of the disease, which includes bleeding gum, fever, and bodily diarrhea. Now, to some stories, Finance Minister Dr. Kasula Tuforson said he has renegotiated an earlier negotiated agreement with the Indian company Tata Consultancy Services, resulting in a reduction of $10 million. A post-budget debate in Parliament, the Finance Minister said he is, however, yet to sign the renegotiated agreement. The contract with the Ghana Revenue Authority on the Integrated Tax Administration System was halted due to tax and financial burdens.
Mr. Speaker, because the process of competitive sourcing was truncated, I asked the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority to further renegotiate the program. Mr. Speaker, in renegotiating it, this is the outcome. Mr. Speaker, accordingly, we were able to reduce the cost of software and related items from $25.3 million to $20 million, saving $5.3 million on one line alone. Mr. Speaker, I did not end there. I also negotiated downwards hardware and related items from $15 million to $13.7 million.
Finance Minister Dr. Kasula Tuforson there. Now, the Christian Council of Ghana has made a passionate appeal to President John Dramani Mahama to revive the controversial National Cathedral building project. The project was halted under the previous NPP administration after it hit a series of scandals. The council has made an appeal at a meeting with the president. Meanwhile, he has given the strongest indication that he is yet to sign the anti-LGBT bill into law after parliamentary approval.
Mr. Speaker, because
this will be the second meeting of the Christian Council with the president since he assumed office, touting an open door policy. The demands of the Christian Council beyond the fight against galamsey were swift.
Excellency, the Christian Council notes with growing concern the prolonged silence surrounding the bill on the promotion of proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values. This has created uncertainty and tension within the citizenry, particularly among faith-based organizations and traditional communities. The Christian Council of Ghana continues to affirm its belief in the vision and necessity of a national cathedral as a unifying symbol of faith, gratitude to God, and moral renewal for our nation. While we are aware of the prevailing economic difficulties, we believe that the cathedral's completion under a transparent, accountable, and inclusive framework would serve as a spiritual and cultural landmark for generations to come.
Responding to concerns raised by the Christian Council during a courtesy call at the Jubilee House, the president reiterated that the position of his government is clear on LGBTQ.
And so we agree with the Speaker to relay the bill and let Parliament, debate it. And if there are any amendments or whatever that have to be done, I believe that at this time and age, with all the problems we have, $400 million to build a cathedral is excessive. And so when that forensic audit is over, our intention is to have a broad-based consultation with the Christian community to see how we can build a place that is decent for us to worship.
Now, to one of our headline stories, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has filed 78 charges against the former Finance Minister, Kenneth Ofori-Atta, and 6 others involved, including the former GRA Commissioner, Amishadai Owusu-Amwa, over the alleged roles in the controversial revenue assurance contracts between the Ghana Revenue Authority and Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited. The charges consist of conspiracy to commit the criminal offense of directly or indirectly influencing the procurement process to obtain an unfair advantage in the award of a procurement contract, corruption, and causing financial loss to the state. Let's take a listen to private legal practitioner Martin Pebu reacting to the development.
I'm extremely sad and I'm extremely upset that Kisi has been allowed Ken Ofori-Atta to run out of this country. And today, Kisi is presenting us with these charges. Too little, too late. There is a half-hearted attempt at a half-baked solution. I'm extremely upset. We are not kids, so TC has to be warned. We are not kids. You allow Ofori-Atta to go, and then today you say you are going to try trial in absentia. You know even how long it took us to fight for trial in absentia. We had to make a lot of noise from January till date. Look, I think this whole thing, TC should stop. They should just stop.
Private legal practitioner Martin Pebu there. Now, the Works and Housing Minister, Kenneth Gilbert Ejay, has charged contractors to accelerate the ongoing works on project aimed at tackling flooding in the capital. The minister was speaking after paying a working visit to major drainage construction site under the Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development Project. For most homes in the capital, Accra, the onset of rain means difficulty as flooding has become an annual ritual. Successive government attempts to mitigate the challenge have yet to yield favorable result, with projects like the Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development Project still not quite completed. Works and Housing Minister Kenneth Gilbert Ejay, along with his technical team, inspected the projects in areas like Kanishi and Wija SSC. While some contractors were commended for the quality and pace of work done, others were cautioned after inspection teams reported slow progress that threatened project timelines.
We first went to the Accra stretch, of which the job has delayed. But they've assured us that they're going to give us their work schedule, and then the ministry is going to ensure that they comply with that.
Speaking to journalists after the tour, Minister Ejay expressed concern, insisting that government will not tolerate delays that put communities at continued risk of flooding.
The contractor is on time, on schedule. He started this work in February 2025. He's supposed to complete in July 2026. And as at now, like he indicated, he's done about 96%, meaning that he's way ahead of schedule. There's another problem downstream as we go. So there's a termination of this particular drain downstream, which needs to be continued. And therefore, we will require additional resources to continue so that we have a complete resolution of this flooding issue that we have.
The Garrett project, supported by the World Bank, remains one of Ghana's biggest flood mitigation efforts. That's our first package for you this morning. For more news, please check our website at 3news.com. I am Enyunam Haliga. Business News is right up.
Accra gets busy on this frequency. 92.7 3 FM.
It's now time for business news here on Sunrise 3FM 92.7. Coming up this morning, economic buckpin flags worrying lack of IMF exit plan in the 2026 budget, calls for a clean plan to avert future bailouts.
We know how Ghana behaves when we are under IMF-supported program and when we exit, how we behave.
Also, policy analyst slams 2026 budget as non-transformational, calls for end to socialist approach.
It has impacts. I can see that through the infrastructure spend it wants to drive. But is it really changing the matrix?
And much later, former finance minister and presidential advisor on economy said TECPESA's debt crisis lessons should derive potential for Continental Stock Exchange, warning Ghana may not be lucky next time with debt forgiveness.
May not be lucky to have any concession at all. You cannot keep borrowing and borrowing without a mechanism for repayment.
Details of our headline stories and other stories shortly. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Now to our first story. Economist and Professor of Finance of the University of Ghana Business School, Godfred Bokpin, has raised serious alarm over government's proposed 2026 budget, pointing specifically to the absence of a clear exit strategy for the country's IMF-supported program. Professor Bokpin warned that simply completing the program's tenure without a robust, well-planned post-IMF plan exposes Ghana to high risk of economic relapse, potentially forcing the nation back to a cycle of bailouts.
Speaking at the Deloitte Economic Dialogue on the 2026 budget in Accra, the finance professor emphasized that government must present a comprehensive plan to ensure long-term macroeconomic stability and self-financing capability beyond 2026.
The budget will straddle part of the program and then beyond. We know how Ghana behaves when we are under IMF-supported program and when we exit, how we behave. So one would have expected that the budget will go beyond just the economic policy and the rest of them, give us an exit strategy. Is there going to be a technical extension, let's say about 3 months? We've seen the way Zambia went.
Country managing partner at Deloitte Ghana, Daniel Kojo Owusu, recommended several solutions to sustain the recent economic gains.
We need real sectors to grow. We need to turn this energy into real production, and we need to incentivize industry to be able to produce. If we are able to do that, then we will create another opportunity. Even when we are not in an IMF sector, we need to be able to produce.
Representing the finance minister, the coordinating director technical and director of the real sector division at the finance ministry, Samuel Akest, strongly defended the ministry's 4.8% gross domestic product GDP growth projection, countering suggestions that the figure is too modest.
When you take Ghana's crisis a few years ago and the debt restructuring that was done, any country that goes into a crisis of this nature, usually you'll be seeing growth for almost a decade a bit subdued. So the GDP we have forecasted is not a point target. It is a position which is more of a tactical one, a strategic one, a cautiously optimistic position, and nothing stops us from outperforming it. And I believe strongly we will outperform it.
The Deloitte Economic Dialogue on the 2026 national budget was held under the theme Charting Ghana's Economic Path, Policies, Progress and Opportunities.
Now, still on the 2026 budget, policy analyst Senyo Hosi has delivered a sharp critique of the government's budget statement, arguing that fiscal policy is fundamental, not transformational, because it fails to unlock the true potential of the private sector. Speaking at the Deloitte Economic Dialogue on the budget, Senyo Hosi stated that the policy maintains a reliance on government-led initiative rather than empowering private sector, a model he deemed outdated.
The big push should not be just a push on roads and bridges, but it should unlock sustainable sectors. Take agriculture. Agriculture, according to the Ministry of Agric, and in fact the President himself, when we launched the Feed Ghana, the FGP, Feed Ghana program, says it accounts for 38.3% of our labor. But 38.3% of our labor is accounting for 21% of your GDP. Is that productive? That's why I say the budget is not transformational. It has impacts. I can see that through the infrastructure spend it wants to drive. But is it really changing the matrix? 24-hour economy, let's get it straight. It's not a policy intervention. It's a policy outcome of effective and sustained economic policies. Nobody needs to tell me, as a rice producer, to run 3 shifts if the demand and the supply of raw material is there.
Policy analyst Senyo Hosi there. Now, former finance minister and economic advisor to President John Dramani Mahama said TECPA is calling on Ghana to champion the creation of a continental stock exchange, saying the country must turn the painful experience of its recent debt restructuring into meaningful financial reforms. He cautions that Ghana cannot continue to depend on external creditors for relief or assume that future defaults will be met with debt suspension or forgiveness, noting that the harsh impact of pension fund haircuts during the Akufo-Addo administration was meaningful.
Before default, as I keep saying, we had forgiveness. Now it's suspension. The next time we may not be lucky to have any concession at all. You cannot keep borrowing and borrowing without a mechanism for repayment. And I think that once we get that clearly, we would establish a sinking fund, which we were using the petroleum funds to do. Now lithium has been tabled, a natural resource management fund, as H.E. mentioned recently. We can extend now. I sincerely believe that if we have the market discipline, if we have the debt repayment account to be able to pay, when they fall due and not have haircuts, the pension funds, I think we can extend tenure. And what we dream of a continental, let's look at what we dream of a continental stock exchange can start right here in Accra on the Ghana Stock Exchange.
That was the former finance minister and economic advisor to President John Dramani Mahama, Seth Terkper there. Now, Ghana has developed its first national mortality table, marking a major milestone in the country's insurance and pension sectors. The locally tailored data is expected to improve pricing, regulatory oversight, and investor confidence across life-based financial products.
Together with the NIC, GIE, and other strategic partners like the UNDP, Milliman, and African Relief Foundation, we are able to demonstrate to all of you gathered here today the initial version of the ALG Assured Life Mortality Table. I must say that I am honored and to announce that this effort would deliver Ghana's first locally developed insurance Assured Life Mortality Table after all the rounds of review from the various institutions is completed. This milestone would help improve pricing and reserving.
Now let's take a look at how the cedi is faring against major trading currencies and how some key commodities are also faring on the global market.
On the interbank foreign exchange market, the dollar is selling at 11 cedis. It gained 2 pesos. The British pound is selling at 14 cedis, 48 pesos. It gained a peso. The euro is selling at 12 cedis, 77 pesos. It also gained 3 pesos. However, be guided that these figures could be higher at a forex bureau near you. The global commodities market, Brent crude, is trading at $64.93 per barrel. Gold is trading at $4,070.64 per ounce, up by $25.68. Cocoa is trading at $5,428 per ton, down by $8.
That was an update from the Forex and Commodities markets. That will be all for business news here on Sunrise 3FM 92.7. For more news, please check our website at 3news.com. I am Enyona Malika. Sunrise continues.
Big thank you to Enyonam Haligan for bringing us the 6 a.m. news as well as the business news here on the 3FM Sunrise. Now it's our turn as we continue here on the best breakfast show in the capital. Thank you very much for choosing us. Let's start off, or continue, shall I say, with our word of the day. And if you know Makola Market very well, you know that it's always lively, bustling with hawkers calling out customers, trotro made shouting destinations, and the smell of a market is really the smell of a market. But on this particular day, something felt different. Prices of foodstuff had gone up overnight, and the entire market was buzzing like a disturbed beehive. At the center of it all sat Maesi, a woman known for her bright tomatoes and even brighter spirit. While traders around her complained loudly, she quietly arranged her basket. Red tomatoes on one side, plum peppers on the other. Her movements were slow, intentional, almost peaceful. A young trader nearby, visibly frustrated, threw her hands up and cried, "This country will stress us to death." "Ma, how are you not annoyed? How are you this calm?" Maisi looked at the young woman with soft eyes and said, "My daughter, when I was your age, I used to shout like the rest. But one day, an old woman told me something I will never forget. If your spirit becomes as noisy as the market, you will lose your way. In that same vein, when things get noisy outside, I make sure they don't become noisy inside." She lifted one tomato and continued, "If your hand shakes while handling this, you bruise it. If your mind shakes while handling life's pressure, you bruise yourself. Calmness is not denying the chaos. It is refusing to let the chaos enter you." Her words traveled further than her stall. People who were shouting lowered their voices. Customers who were rushing slowed their steps. Even the young trader, who had been panicking, sat down quietly beside her, watching her sort one tomato at a time. And that day, in the middle of one of Ghana's busiest market, composure became more powerful than noise. Thank you very much again for choosing us here on the 3FM Sunrise. We'll continue for you up until 10 a.m. Special conversations lined up for you. We'll get our weather update shortly from Felicity Ahafianyo. Then we'll drive straight into the newspaper review segment. Today, a special guest is joining us in studio. You get all of the details right after this.
.7 3 FM. 92.7 3 FM. 92.7 3 FM.
There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December.
Back in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLat 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag Familat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag Familat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag Familat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9.
To it, I will sing, praise your name.
Lord, my life, I go there for you. Nobody can do
Dates for the morning. So expectations of mist and fog patches are expected to develop early this morning, reducing visibility over parts of the coastline, forest zones and hilly areas. As the day progresses, bright and sunny conditions will dominate most areas across southern Ghana, with the possibility of localized rain clouds, producing isolated thunderstorms or rain over portions of the west coast, middle sector and transition zone from midday into the evening hours. Meanwhile, fairly dry and slightly hazy conditions will persist over some places in northern Ghana throughout the forecast period.
Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up.
To the newspapers for you this morning, and like I was telling you about, significant development over the course of the last 24 hours. In fact, if you're a news person, it's been buzzing all throughout, from the OSP finally, true to his words, filing charges against Ken Ofori-Atta and some 4 other individuals in the SML scandal. 70 plus charges it is. The reactions have been coming forth. Then the president as well has been speaking on a number of issues: National Cathedral, anti-LGBTQ plus bill, and as well on corruption and what he intends to do to his own appointees should they be embroiled in any conversation regarding the subject matter of corruption. All of that and more is what we're going to be, in the words of Helena Piampofo, sinking our teeth into this morning as well for you. But I want to lay the foundation bare and perhaps start off with the president's commentary on a number of these matters from yesterday.
National Cathedral. The National Cathedral Board of Trustees ordered an audit into the accounts of the National Cathedral. The audit was published, and there were some issues that bubbled out of the audit. But there are 2 kinds of audit. There's a normal audit that you yourself choose your auditor and ask him to come and audit you. And then he audits and presents the report to you. There's that kind of auditor. Then there's the auditor who is asked to come and do a forensic audit. And so we got a copy of the audit that had been commissioned by the Board of Trustees. And as president, I directed that a forensic audit be conducted. We want to know what happened. Before we go forward, we must know what happened. And so we're waiting for the report of the forensic audit. Once that forensic audit has been done, then we can decide what the way forward is. I am a Christian, and I believe that building a house where we can worship God is a good thing. I contributed, I was one of the chief fundraisers for my own Assemblies of God church building where I worship at Ringway Gospel Center. And I built 10 rural, we call them temples, in 10 villages for the Assemblies of God Church. Of course, I solicited support from different people, and we built them. They have quarters for the pastor. He's got his bedroom, he's got his kitchen, he's got his living room, and then we have the church hall that can seat up to about 150 people. And so I do believe in building, an interdenominational place where we can worship. But it must be done in consultation with all of us. All of us must decide, how we want to do it, what the scope is, and how much it should cost. I believe that at this time and age, with all the problems we have, $400 million to build a cathedral is excessive. I know Nigeria have built an ecumenical center, and I've been there. It's a decent, beautiful place, and they built it for $40 million. And so maybe some of the things are excessive, Let's find somewhere, all of us, on National Day of Thanksgiving and Worship, we can all go there and worship God and thank Him for what He has done for us. And so when that forensic audit is over, our intention is to have a broad-based consultation with the Christian community to see how we can build a place that is decent for us to worship. But apart from that, make it a center where people can come and, look at its architecture and all that, and find that Christ, has a place in our hearts, in our nation.
As a president, John Dramani Mahama, on one subject matter, that's the subject matter of the National Cathedral and what is expected to happen to it. He says that a forensic audit is underway, and once that is done, then there will be a national conversation as to what happens next. But they say that, look, of the many things, what we've seen with this National Cathedral, it's been excessive. hence, amongst many other things, a need for this forensic audit. It actually kind of likens it to a similar or such construction that's been undertaken in Nigeria, which cost $40 million, and we've expended, per his words, and what it is that we continue to get details of from time to time, $400 million. Certainly cannot be in the president's own words. But he's not just been speaking to the subject matter of the National Cathedral. He's as well been talking about corruption, and we can take a listen to the president as well on corruption and what he makes of it in terms of the fight against it and what he intends to do to his own government appointees should they be caught up in corruption.
Before I became president, had indicated that we're going to take the fight against corruption to a whole new level. And it's not anything personal against anybody. I have said several times that our problem in the fight against corruption is that it is always post-regime corruption that we fight. And so when a government is in office, when scandals are taking place, they don't deal with them. And so they leave it until a new government comes. And when that government comes and starts investigating the cases of corruption, then the previous government says, oh, you are witch hunting us. This is political persecution. But I've said notice to my ministers, ask them every day in cabinet, I remind them. I say the prosecutions that we're taking against the current government will betides the first person who brings a scandal to this government. We shall hang them on a cross. And you follow our Lord Jesus Christ, that you cannot resurrect again. And so I keep warning them that Abaye Debo Titi and Wani Debo Boba. But we must deal with the corruption that has taken place. And my belief is that if we want our people to continue to have faith in our democracy, then we must show that the political elite is capable of governing accountably. Because by the time we went to the 2024 elections, most of our young people and our people were like, oh, even elections, it's a waste of time. You go and vote and people will just come and misuse our money. If we don't let our people believe that we can govern this country and govern it accountably and hold people to ransom who have misused government resources, then we can go the way other countries have gone. And that's why I said before the election, and I was misinterpreted, I said Ghana is not immune from coup d'etats. If the political class does not get its act together, it is possible that there could be a military coup or a civilian uprising. And civilian uprisings are worse than military coups because they end up in chaos and anarchy. If you look at what happened in Sri Lanka or somewhere, when the people had had enough, they overran the government, the prime minister ran away. They entered the prime minister's house, they were swimming in his swimming pool and opened his fridge and were drinking his drinks and eating his food. That is worse than a coup d'etat. And so for me, I said that my mission is to use the mandate Ghanaians have given me to move Ghana to a level where anybody who comes after cannot reverse the gains that we have done.
That's the President, John Dramani Mahama. Let's get into the newspapers for you this morning. I have the Daily Analyst, one of such papers here with me this morning. They start off with that big one involving the former finance minister. Ofori-Atta ex-GRA boss, 5 others charged, and so 7 individuals in all for alleged procurement breaches. It comes with a picture of the former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. Also, Mahama vows to sign anti-LGBTQ plus bill if Parliament passes it. That's the president. He's been speaking in that regard as well. We'll take a listen to him on that a lot later. Ashanti Regional Minister rubbishes Galamsey tag demands retraction. Gazetted Awin chiefs disown Galamsey thugs, urge government crackdown. Nana Kwame Nkrumah II is the spokesperson for the Awin Traditional Council. Parliament approves $10 million tax waiver for Tata Consultancy Services. Government failed to achieve 50% of 2025 projected targets. That's according to Gideon Boaku. He is, I don't know if he's the member of parliament for Tano North, was also aide or economic advisor to the former vice president. The news center is next. City anchors economy, represents identity, stabilizes market, restores confidence. As according to the president, he was at the City at 60 event yesterday. Jospon, UN University sealed Green Deal at COP30. NPP executives abroad protest proxy vote denial. Margins Kokma to transform Kimbu Triangle. I think this Kole Klote. Yeah, I suspect it will be called Klote. I'll just get details of that story. Ashaman SHS marks 35 years with call for modern facilities. Let me just check that back page and be... Yes, so I was right. It's Kole Klote, also known as the Kokma. Kole Klote Municipal Assembly. Right. Also, on the custodian, their tag, fearless, fair, and reliable. They lead with diaspora. NPP delegates threaten legal action over proxy voting rights. That story on page 3. Jospon Group and UN University signed climate deal at COP30. Also on the front page here of the custodian newspaper, 50% of 2025 budget target not achieved. Gideon Boaku. MEF fails to answer RTI requests on 2024 finances. Miss Justina Nelson is the acting CEO. Asuna Donting family announces 40-day observance for late Kofi Esiama. On the back page, Ato Fortin credits NPP for reducing Ghana's debt burden and promotes responsible use of Cedi Mahama to the Bank of Ghana. We'll start with what is details from that procurement breaches story and the charges as filed against the former finance minister by the office of the special prosecutor. And the story is on page 3 of the Daily Analyst. It reads that the office of the special prosecutor has officially filed charges against former finance minister Kenneth Nana-Yaw Ofori-Atta, former commissioner general of the Ghana Revenue Authority Emmanuel Kofi Nti, and 5 others alongside Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited over what it describes as a coordinated conspiracy to influence a major public procurement process unlawfully. The charge sheet filed on the 18th of November 2025 outlines allegations of conspiring to gain an unfair advantage in the award of a government procurement contract. Contrary to Ghana's Criminal Offences Act and the Public Procurement Act. According to the particulars, the accused persons, including Evans Edusei, identified as the beneficial owner and controlling mind of Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, allegedly acted jointly to manipulate the procurement system for private benefits. The Republic is pursuing the case under count 1, conspiracy to commit the criminal offense of influencing procurement. This serious charge carries significant legal implications for public office holders and private actors alike. And the case registered under, well, we'll skip that. And the Republic versus, it's titled The Republic versus Kenneth Ofori-Atta and 7 others. Was Kenneth Ofori-Atta was the Minister of Finance at the Material Times in relation to all of the transactions. Ernest Dako Akore was a chef de cabinet of the finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, as well as the expectations of the other individuals. Emmanuel Kofi Nti, who is or was the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority at the time in question, and then there is Amishada Ewusu-Amoah, who also was a Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority as well. And so just a list of some of the individuals who are expected to make that appearance before the courts, but we know as well that Ms. Ofori-Atta is not in the country. There are extradition attempts or efforts underway to have him returned to the state and to answer for those charges that have been filed at the courts right now. But there's been reaction to this. Private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu, yesterday, in the aftermath of these charges, 70 plus in all, had this to say in terms of a reaction to the commentary and all of the developments as undertaken by the OSP.
That's a half-hearted attempt to fight corruption with a half-baked solution. Why do I say so? Look, from the day Kissi Agyabeng himself came and confessed that he saw Ofori-Atta leave Ghana and didn't tell Ghanaians, that was when I lost all the trust that I had in him. I lost all. So this is a half-hearted fight against corruption. Kissi Agyabeng is not fighting corruption. He's pretending. Look, Martin, how can you see your key accused person, the crown jewel? Ofori-Atta is a crown jewel. We all know how Ghana borrows, then Data Bank makes money. Ghana borrows, then Data Bank, Ofori-Atta's company makes money, etc. All the financial malfeasance, etc. We as Ghanaians suspected Ofori-Atta. And Kissi Agyabeng could come on air to tell us that he saw Ofori-Atta leave because he said he intercepted the letter that was written to both the former chief of staff and the sitting chief of staff, the current one, right? And Kissi Agyabeng intercepted it. Then he said he went to NIB, he didn't get help. He went to National Security, he didn't get help. He went to Immigration, he didn't get help. Now I'm beginning to hear that NIB say no. Kissi Agyabeng didn't bring any arrest warrant, didn't bring any letter showing that Ofori-Atta was to be arrested. So I'm very sure soon National Security will also come out. Such a man, he's a double agent. He's pretending to fight corruption. Trust me.
Counsel, but clearly from his submissions and interviews he has given and even his public addresses, he gave clear indications that although he was unable to prevent Ken Ofori-Atta from leaving Ghana, he got wind of it at a very latter stage of that process and took action in that regard. You believe that his actions were much ado about nothing?
Absolutely. Name. How many times have I called you? If you heard that Ofori-Atta is about to leave Ghana, if you did a press conference, once he's not yet reached the airport, or even if he was at the airport, within 1 hour, we would have stopped him one time. One time would have stopped him. Kissi Agyabeng is a double agent. He's pretending. Look, Kissi Agyabeng worked for Ofori-Atta. He worked for Ofori-Atta. That's his former client. I think he was going to throw Ofori-Atta under the bus. This is a half-hearted and half-baked solution. The real solution was to have prevented Ofori-Atta from leaving Ghana. Kissi Agyabeng colluded with Ofori-Atta and away bus. So this one is to fool Ghanaians. It's just to fool us. Look.
Right, but counsel,
have you seen? Oh, let me land one statement, just one sentence. Have you seen the charges on causing financial loss? OSP doesn't have a mandate on causing financial loss. That's for Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayine. You see, but he wants to go to court on causing financial loss. When the court free him on that, how is Dr. Ayine going to go back? How is Dr. Ayine going to go back? Hey, Charlie, let's wise up. Kissi must leave that office immediately. Look, he has lost. He has lost the plot. He has to go.
And that's private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu in, say, some of the strongest words ever I've heard in the last few weeks in relation to the office of the special prosecutor and the expectations of him. 6 years, good morning to you. Trust that the night rather has been kind to you.
Oh yeah, it's a very good night. Peace of mind, sound sleep, early rising. It's been It's because yesterday was good. Good. Yes. God is good, though.
He is. God is continues to be a steady anchor upon which we lean on.
Yeah.
So we're always thankful for the gift of life and the fact that we have the opportunity to be here always. You have some papers, but perhaps what you've made of very strong words by Mr. Kpebu leaves me sometimes wondering.
You know, I've always known that, in fact, we had a discussion here the other day when I was commenting on Mr. Martin Amidu's petition, not a petition, his commentary on the removal or otherwise of the special prosecutor. You know, that day we said that people like Martin Kpebu also are on that campaign. And I think he's even working on a petition, a formal petition. I think he's working on one to trigger, engineer, or should I say orchestrate the removal of Mr. Kissi Agyabeng from the office of the special prosecutor. But I think that until they file the petition, the boos-bas, as Helen would say, should cease. Yes, he spoke about, the last time I listened to him, he spoke about prosecutorial integrity. He spoke about the trust that the people should have in their prosecutor to ensure the integrity of the case, ensure that there is no bias, ensure that there is no relationship that would give or hint of the slightest of public suspicion of bias. And based on that, he's gone on the crusade, or he's joining the crusade for the removal of Mr. Kissi Agyabeng, my own lecturer. So let's wait for the petition. Let's wait for the petition. He's made the same point over and over and over, that Kissi Agyabeng had time to act. He did not act. He waited till the horse bolted, and then he attempted closing the stable, which probably would be a problem. And in his defense, we've heard the special prosecutor also say that at the time the Ken Ofori-Atta issue started, NPP was still in power.
Yeah.
In fact, Ken Ofori-Atta was a very powerful man back then. Some of the backdoor or backroom conversations we've had, we cannot repeat on air because we have no way of substantiating.
Absolutely.
But if those are anything to go by, we know just how much power Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta wielded. And with that background knowledge, one would understand why the special prosecutor would say he was helpless at the time. And I've also heard commentaries that hint that Mr. Kissi Agyabeng is just using this to save his face and try to convince us that he's still fit for purpose, so we shouldn't come for his job. And like I always say, a process has started.
Yeah, we must wait. We must wait it out.
Wait it out,
and
let's see how he goes through with this process.
But as we are waiting, we can make some commentary on the side.
Oh, we can. Oh, as for speech, there, it's only Mawena who can decide that I will not comment on Coach Otto Addo, which is against my right. That matter, I'll still come to it. But everybody is allowed to speak.
South Korea.
I don't even want to talk about it.
The sports team will be here.
But Coach Otto Addo must go.
And what about OSP?
OSP has started a process. Why are you tricking me?
I want to know whether you are on.
You want to talk now.
I want to know whether you are part of the teaming Ghanaians. Let me tell you, if you are on social media, every single time the Office of the Special Prosecutor drops any kind of communique. In fact, yesterday they dropped a video on X with an eagle flying to reassure us that the eagle is watching all of us. And and watching what we do. And in fact, the response was an overwhelming thumbs down. And I fear for the future of the Office of the Special Prosecutor because of this overwhelming...
The occupant or the office itself?
The office itself, because the cries for it to be scrapped seem to be growing louder by the minute. I thought that we were all in support of the work of the OSP, but gauging the temperature and the mood, it's not looking good for that particular office. A lot of people saying, let's scrap it.
I think I already spoke about this matter the other day when I said, and it's on record, that I'm not a praise singer. I'm not saying everything Kissi is doing is good. No. I'm just saying that knowing the man from a certain distance, I know he has integrity. I know he is principled. I know he knows his job. That's me knowing him from a distance.
Okay.
Aside or outside of our academic relationship, I've never worked with him, not even on a media project. So I cannot talk about his work ethic and all. But knowing him from that distance, I know that if it is about ability, capacity, he has it. If it's about knowledge, skill, expertise, he has it. If it's about integrity, transparency, and all of those things, he has all those qualities amply and ably demonstrated. Now, the dissatisfaction largely stems from this Ken Ofori-Atta matter.
Is it
and
misplaced?
It is making us...
Is it misplaced dissatisfaction?
No, it's not. In fact, the anger is righteous because the Office of the Special Prosecutor consistently, right from Martin Amidu, which is also the reason why I didn't take his commentary lightly the other day, right from Martin Amidu, has really not given us results. And when I say results, I mean the kind of expectation people have for public office holders like Helen, who have signed contracts and chopped money and shared money openly in the public. And Yaman says daughter.
You always naming people, but you don't want to be named.
In fact, it's Ekuyamansa, so now I know you have the wrong Helen. You have the wrong Helen. I can
so I'm safe. It's not you.
You are safe. You are safe.
So if even the case of the Ejiso MCE nominee, who openly,
that Safo Kantanka case
who openly incriminated
himself.
That word.
Oh, this is the one who said vote for me for your little...
No, he's the one who said, bring me my money. I gave you money and you didn't vote for me.
Well, I remember 2020, we engaged him. He said it was thank you for wasting time on me. That's the... That's what the money was for.
People are angry because in some of the instances you thought this would be an easy kill for the OSP. It turned out not to be. Then people are asking, is the Office of the Special Prosecutor really interested in dealing with these matters that everybody is crying over? But then again, I've made the argument that, look, if you are, even the court reporters, not even being a lawyer, you are not a lawyer, but you are a patron of the court. You sit in court every day. If you have the slightest understanding of the court, our court system and its processes, you will understand some of the frustrations. Because you know that you can't just walk in and out of court with a judgment. No, whether favorable or unfavorable. So I think that the problem with the Office of the Special Prosecutor is that it has given too much hope to people. And
that's hope.
Yes. And that is what has now come back to bite it. If you organize a press conference and you say that you give the impression that as for this matter there, as Martin people will say on TV, this one there is cool chop. No lawyer talks like that. No lawyer will, and in fact, these are the same people who trained us. They will tell you to manage the expectations of your client.
But with the special prosecutor, he's a prosecutor, right?
Yes.
So his stance is also going to be different. He wants to, nail that coffin in. So his speech will be different from, say, lawyers for the party. He is there, and some might say, rightly so, with some type of adversarial demeanor. And that and there is a place for that because he will not go to court unless he believes.
I have made the same argument you have made in favor of the Attorney General. Mauna, you remember?
Yes.
I've made that same argument.
Yes.
But listen, you organize a press conference as special prosecutor. Then you say that the former finance minister has escaped the jurisdiction. But he cannot escape the long arm of the law. We are declaring him a fugitive of law, of justice. And we are placing him on the wanted list. That is so drastic. That is so high up there. And then all of us, yay! Because we are happy. That even almost choked me.
Don't get emotional.
That almost choked me.
Don't get emotional.
So we are happy. We applaud you. We laud you. We know that, yeah, you are working for us. Then on the same matter, it turns out that you have not even proffered charges against the person. That you have not even submitted the necessary documents to the necessary institution for the processes to commence.
Right.
Meanwhile, all of this time, all of us were clapping for you. We were happy. We are hailing you because we believe that you have fought for us. So what you have said in the media space seem to be different from the actions that you have actually taken. And I'm saying this based on the other revelations that came from Deputy Attorney General Stremsai, who also said, the OSP has not forwarded this to us. We are the institution that can do this. But we do, as of this time that I speak to you, we don't have 1, we don't have 2, we don't have 3. So we can't even do the 1, 2, 3. Meanwhile, in the minds of the public, that stage self, we have passed there. So that is why I talk about managing expectations. This is a communication problem.
Okay.
It's not a legal problem. Right. It's not that the special prosecutor doesn't know his job. It's not that I know a number of lawyers at the office of the special, very competent. In fact, Martin Kpebu himself, at some time ago, mentioned some of the lawyers at the office of the special and praised them because he knows them. Individually, he knows them. And he knows that they are good at their job.
Their competencies.
So I think that it's a pure collapse of or misfiring of communication. You gave us too much hope. Now we are asking. Now results no way.
Now we're seeing even more communication. Like I said yesterday, every time I refresh my page, Office of the Special Prosecutor has something come up, the charges. Then I saw the picture of Ken Ofori-Atta at large. So now I'm thinking, okay, has this wanted profile been reinstated? Is he still on the wanted list?
He's still on the wanted list.
Okay, so then they put on the picture at large.
I think there was actually another press conference to reinstate him on the
wanted
noble list.
He's been on the Interpol.
Because he was taken off.
He was taken
and
off.
then brought back, wasn't he?
He was taken off.
So I think there was a press conference.
And around the month of May getting into June, that was when the former finance minister was supposed to have returned after his surgery.
Yes.
Once they got wind that he wasn't returning, I was at that press conference, and he said it was very indicative of a man who did not want to return. They've re-entered his name. They've taken steps. They are beginning the process of extradition to have him return to the country and answer for the
But can AG give us some update? Because we've heard about these extradition processes haven't been commenced. Can we get an update on that front? Can we be updated on what kind of defense Mr. Ofori-Atta has put forth to prevent his extradition?
It's quite early. It's quite early on that front. Because
the wheels of justice. You are moving slowly for fellow Ghanaians.
The documentation
slowly.
The documentation from the OSP, I'm sure, would have gone somewhere this month.
This month, yeah.
And then
when was the Stremsai interview? That was mid last month.
So the OSP said it was going to file charges before.
We'd heard about this.
That is the point I am making. That's the point I'm making. That look, at the time the OSP told us at the press conference that we are going to bring the man back. He seemed to have run away, but he has not escaped. We'll bring him back by fire, by tender. We'll bring him back, and we're all clapping. At that time, all of us had thought that we were like 40%
of the way there.
Exactly. Only for us to be told months down the line that, look, we have not even commenced the process. You get it? So I think it's just about managing the expectations of people on all of these, not just the Ken Ofori-Atta matter, but I think a lot of the anger is on the Ken Ofori-Atta matter. But there are a lot of other cases that the special prosecutor will pick up. We only get to hear and cover, and the excitement is all about all those political cases. But once the news cycle dies down, changes and turns corner, then we all forget and we move on as to whether the cases are progressing. This hearing has started, trial has started, what witnesses are being called, what is happening, we never really know.
We have so many high-profile cases on our radar. You've got what do you call it, SkyTrain issue that has gone a bit quiet. We know that Gift Oware of the National Service Authority scandal has posted bail. I'm sure we'll be getting some updates hopefully in due course.
Well,
so many different
there's
that's what I know with case, no?
I mean, that's all
purely with the AG. But all these high-profile cases, I think Ghanaians are yearning for.
Well, there's an update from Parliament that the AG provided yesterday. We know that Sedinam Tamaklo was jailed 10 years for willfully causing financial loss.
That's right.
The minority, and she was tried in absentia.
Yes, she was tried in absentia. The minority had been asking questions whether or not why extradition attempts are not being undertaken by the states to have a return and answer for it. The Attorney General yesterday answered to those in Parliament. Let's just take a brief listen to what it is that he had to say on that score, and then we continue with the papers we have.
Right Honourable Speaker, the request for the extradition of Sedina Christine Tamaklo Atienu was dispatched on 19 July 2024 through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to the Department of Justice of the United States of America for execution. Our office, that is the Office of the Attorney General, is awaiting the execution of our request to have her extradited to serve her prison sentence in Ghana. The International Cooperation Unit of the Attorney General's Department followed up on our request from the Department of Justice, the United States of the United States of America in September 2025. So if there is any impression being created that I am not taking any steps, this is the evidence that in September, that is just a month ago, I took the step of inquiring from the United States Justice Department the steps that they were taking in respect of the extradition. And they indicated that they are following their extradition procedures in executing the request, and that the fugitive would be extradited as soon as they have satisfied all the procedures. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
92.7 Sunrise on 3FM.
So that's some news on Sedinam Tamaklo. The AG says in July they sent extradition papers. They followed up in September asking the Justice Department what's up. I brought you something that you bring me a Ghanaian who is a fugitive from justice, has been sentenced to 10 years or jailed for 10 years in absentia for causing financial loss to the state. Where is my individual? I gave you the fraud boys when you needed it. Give me mine.
Give me my own.
So that's an important update, and there's a reason I mentioned this, such that it can go in the score of this not being a witch hunt when the conversation about Ken Ofori-Atta comes up, because it's very important that persons affiliated or associated with the NDC as well are investigated when there need be and handed out the same medicine to engender confidence in the Ghanaian that indeed the corruption fight is on. We have a few more papers that we have to do justice.
On that score, me, I don't have any doubts at all about President Mahama. If you work under him and you misbehave, he will deal with you. He demonstrated that. Which case was this?
In his first term.
In his first term.
Yes,
some of these people, they were jailed.
Some persons were jailed, actually.
That one, me, I don't doubt. He will not come and say that you are... I trust in your integrity. You won't be found foul of this. President Mahama will not, unless he has changed. If only he has changed. But if it's the same President Mahama who dealt with his appointees in his first term, then I believe that if you are an appointee and you misbehave, he will not say because you are under him or it is his tenure, he will protect you. No, that one there. So let me take you to the Ghana's favorite newspaper.
How much is that one?
8 Ghana per.
The papers, they come in classes. So the ones I did were 5. This one, 8.
Is that paper that sells 15 cities?
No, I'm not sure.
There's
we've quite hit that yet.
No, please.
Maybe it is the one I'm here to produce.
Hey, we won't buy. 15. Why? What are you putting inside?
Pierre Manson Daily.
That one there.
And you will buy.
Buy one, get one free.
Daily Guide newspaper front page. I will sign anti-LGBTQ bill. Mahama is assuring the Christian community. Parliament ratifies ITS agreement, $10.46 million tax waiver. We are still here. Ofanko, wife beater busted. I'm interested in this story.
His picture is clearly...
no, it's not clear enough.
It's not clear enough. He needs a billboard. Shame on you.
Not clear enough. Petroleum Act review approved. SML GRA contract, OASP charges of Oforiatta and 7 others. So, interest in pages 3 and 6. I'll come back there. Ghanaian Times newspaper. Let me start from the front page. At City Conference, we will uphold BOG's independence. President Mahama is quoted. Surrender unregistered weapons or face prosecution. Interior Minister announces amnesty period. Jospon UN University seal Green Deal at COP30. 5.4 million Ghanaians practice open defecation.
How many?
5.4 million.
That's quite a number.
5,400,000.
That's quite a number.
In 2025.
Yes.
And someone can easily argue these are conservative numbers.
And why?
It shocked me. I think 5 million.
5 million human beings.
Really?
They just stand the corner and help themselves out.
Hey, are we sure of this number?
Those in the...
Are you saying are we sure of this number because
it sounds high?
Is it too much or is it too small?
There are those who say it could be more.
What?
Actually.
Costs nation $79 million annually.
Could be more.
Aye.
Easily could be more. Easily could be more.
5.4 million. How many are we again?
I think we're
31.
No. Now we should be getting to 40.
35 thereabout.
We are growing. Those was all defecated to our
When was the last census?
I think in 2020.
Okay, 35 I think sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds realistic.
Yeah.
Will you be surprised if we are 40?
I'll be very surprised.
Do the simple Google search. Let's see. But on page 12 of the paper, Ghanaian Times paper, it says, stories by Cecilia Yada Langba. It says, about 5.4 million Ghanaians still practice open defecation across the country, representing 18% of the population. Mr. Yao Ata Ahin, wash technical specialist at World Vision Ghana, disclosed. He describes the situation as alarming, warning that it continues to undermine public health, child survival, and national development. I wish we had a breakdown on the regions. It is prevalent in this region. It's something we can follow up on, so that we see which region.
Greater Accra is top 5.
We see which region. No, Greater Accra. They only
top 5.
They use the sea. So
not just
that's
the sea.
Defecation.
I know that.
Not just the sea. Sure.
Where?
Proceed.
No, but we need to break down this. Kunzo, I think it's something we need to pick up. 5.4 million. The practice, he noted, cost the nation an estimated $79 million annually, while Ghana loses $290 million every year to poor sanitation. He was speaking in Accra at a summit with creative arts stakeholders and morning show hosts to commemorate the 2025 World Toilet Day. Explained that diarrhea-related deaths among children remain a major concern, with 3,600 children dying each year from the disease alone.
Oh my
3,006. He stressed that the country could not achieve its development targets if sanitation challenges, particularly open defecation, remain widespread. Let me give you a direct quote from him. With 5.4 million people engaged in open defecation, coupled with inadequate infrastructure, the country remains vulnerable to diseases such as cholera and diarrhea. The 2021 population and housing census, he said, further highlights the severity of the situation. 55% of the population share toilets. 55%. That's half of the population. 23% rely on public toilet facilities. 55% share. 23% so community toilets. The one that the party full soldiers always fight over.
Right.
23% of the population uses that. Because of the numbers involved, there is no way we can avoid diseases such as diarrhea and cholera. It's something we definitely have to go into this.
Absolutely.
It's scary.
Very.
It's scary.
Very.
It's scary. It's scary. It's scary.
All right.
And maybe we have to blame the local assemblies too.
They are part of.
You cannot give permits for a building that has no toilet facility inside it in this day and age.
Hey.
In this day and age.
That number is alarming. This is something to certainly follow up on. The Daily Graphic this morning, I'll ascend to anti-gay bill. President pledges, updates Christian Council on key national issues. The Christian Council was making waves and ripples yesterday because of that request to continue the National Cathedral. Hey, when I saw it, I jumped back from my bus. Hey, National Cathedral at this time.
Have they spoken on Galamsey? Christian Council, have they taken a position on Galamsey? No.
Hey.
When I heard it, I was also sad.
Oh, you were sad. Yes. I mean, I don't know why. What it is again we want to see about National Cathedral to let us wake up and in fact smell the coffee. There are questions that need desperate answers. This is not the time for us to be talking about reinstating National Cathedral. National Cathedral at a time when we were a broke nation. How much have we spent? $97 million.
The president was mentioning $400 million yesterday.
That's what he said. We can't spend that to do this project, which I think is going to be the estimated amount to actually finally finish this. $400 million. Do you know the problems we have as a nation? When I hear National Cathedral, something just comes over me. Let me continue.
Respectfully, men of God, we know that you spoke based on direction and anointing, but we beg you.
As for National Cathedral, dear, please.
Let us fight Galamsey first.
Let's get kids off their stomachs. Yeah. Let's do one or two things before we invest in a project. Like, there are questions that need to be answered about the National Cathedral before we think about even proceeding. There are still court cases pending from businesses that were moved out of the area needlessly. Please.
Businesses,
judges' houses, please. Please. Let's focus. We have issues as a country.
Living in, you see those estate houses, those the Senate flats, those buildings. Judges should not be living like that.
I mean,
we call it self-compound. Even when we are renting, we are looking for self-compound. That is how our judges should be living. We move them under a certificate of agency, to borrow the parliamentary register. Under a certificate of agency, we moved them. We pushed them one hot afternoon. We moved all of them. Giddy.
And what do we have to show for
digging the place?
What do we have to show for this?
Nothing to show.
What do we have to show for this? $97 million
Council,
US dollars
you are
already
men
spent.
of God. Let us not Let us not.
Let's focus, cry. We have not arrived as a nation. Anyway, government declares 6-week gun amnesty. Move is to remove illicit firearms and strengthen control. We had that discussion here. Was it yesterday or the day before? So if you've got an unregistered firearm, go and give it up, so you don't face the consequences. Yeah. All right, widen tax net to close a revenue shortfall. PwC urges swift action. On the back page of the Daily Graphic, UDS releases new drought-tolerant cowpea varieties. You've got a picture here of a professor leading research into examining some of these varieties. And Bonsa water treatment plant shuts down as illegal miners cause havoc.
Another water treatment plant.
Yes, shut down. And if you see this picture, I mean, as you can see, it looks like coffee or some kind of hot chocolate variant.
It's so silty.
It's not good at all. Look at this.
So silty.
So this you fight it to sand. Come on.
I'm sure Christian Council hasn't seen this picture.
This is bad.
If you see this, you know that the monies that we would use to build the cathedral, we need to rechannel that money.
We must.
Into fighting with illegal mining. Now, I think we should even stop calling it Galamsey. I agree with Awolai.
Environmental terrorism.
Eco-terrorism. Let us give it a big name so that we can scale up the actions. National Cathedral. Wrong timing, Christian Council. Wrong, terrible timing. This is not the time to come and talk about National Cathedral. We beg you. You see, I'm a man of the church, so I'm very constrained in how if this had come from a politician, my language would have been different. So I want to, but this is not a time. At all. We beg you. Respectfully and humbly, please.
We'll try and listen to exactly what, because they had a number of issues raised. There was a National Cathedral, there was corruption.
Even if you spoke about Galamsey and you still brought National Cathedral in the same statement,
I agree with you.
It shouldn't even come up.
I agree with you. Without a doubt, that's very true. That's very true. As for the National Cathedral, it gives us a lot to be scared about. But
something for the public. Ghana Medical Trust Fund covers all cancer treatment next year. Stay woke.
Next year.
From next year. This is from the health minister.
They will cover all cancer treatments.
It is reported on the back page. I beg your pardon. On the back page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper, and the headline is that the Ghana Medical Trust Fund will cover all cancer treatments next year. Next year is just 30 days away.
All right.
Stay woke.
Let me talk to you about the Rosebank International University as we wrap up, and because the phone lines have started, they keep on calling. 055-924-2717, 055-924-2717, as well as 055-691-0154, 055-691-0154. Now, there's a world-class university right here in Ghana, the Rosebank International University, a strong South African university and a brand of the ADVTech Group, Africa's largest private education provider with 146 schools across 5 African countries with over 100,000 learners, and partly owned by the World Bank through the ISC. Now, Rosebank International University is fully accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority, the British Accreditation Council, GTEC in Ghana, City and Guilds in the UK, Capsicum Culinary Studio. At Rosebank International University, we offer a Doctor of Business Administration, DBA, MBA, Master of Science, and Master of Philosophy in Digital Marketing, Bachelor of Supply Chain Management, targeting professionals in freight forwarding, customs, etc. We offer hospitality and culinary arts available at diploma, undergraduate, and at postgraduate levels. Our ICT has BSc Information Technology and Business Systems and IT Computer Application Development, all carefully designed to equip you with the skills and qualifications needed for a successful global career. Our mission is simple: inspiring excellence. Admissions are now open for January 2026. Visit our modern campus at Airport Commercial or Perbia House, Accra, or apply online at www.riuc.edu.gh. Rosebank International University, building global citizens. We're back after this, and then we'll pick your calls. Stay with us. you this morning. Straight up to it when you get the opportunity. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Abu in Kokomlemle, thank you very much for calling. I trust that you're well. Talk to us.
I'm well.
Great.
Mona. Kati de yasema amagana for so ama party bi hu I fan wanya asem no omo ko fata asem ya sabe so ya so bi ye promacho ka asem no de omo yifru ma dwim kura kati de asem no de mo nka biem ni ankonya omo kasatia omo ya sofo omo ye mpanyimfo omo ye mistake no mo sa ko fata asem ba instead be ka ji omo no and go say na be ka omo Ghana for afina adene ye apeke ye nyina da ho dwene ho mo ko fa kati de asem ba.
Thank you very much, Abu in Kokomlemle. Always very straight to the point. May have lost the other individual on the telephone line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Give us your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Oh, what to say?
I'm doing well.
You didn't me answer. We are no correct answer. I'm a free Kaswa.
No, Krasa, it's good to hear from you again.
From baby MP Nututu.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Container need to have ban boom and management. Baby I'm a bra what they say we call it will be a mechan pa a mecha madi to be on abo akukan show a shamai. And I like say damn it also the shaman pa uti in the chow. Opening the best Christian Council, Omonto Moboasi. Momo Excellency John Dramani Mahama Pressure. You know, Ghana in Fium Waki. Ye who pressure the Ma Excellency Nana Kufadu. Ye who could see so different as Omonto Moasi. Ye Nara, ye best support to say Excellency John Dramani Mahama, making sure say, Gay who send me the warden in Sabbath Secretary. Name more money pressure. Na cathedral no so yen sini ochra sika biara so MPP for 5 e was a down ho no ye make sure say ye mpani for be make sure say on be found sika no ye dia ye mpuntu djuma e wo man mu na ye nyamfa so wo so na mpani for so ye nyamwa momwa ye obi to aso.
Thank you very much, Nukrasa. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Honorable Mawena Ebeta.
Yes, sir. I trust that you're well.
By the grace of God, my name is Bright calling from Abusokai.
Bright in Abusokai, let's hear you as well this morning.
Let me say good morning to my only Honorable Johnny. May God continue to guide him and protect him. Good morning to Honorable Alaji Yakondo in charge of operation at the council, and Honorable Peter T and Honorable Alaji Rauf and Courage McAfee in the our TDC. Special prosecutor, the office no, Minyanka, the Jisa office no, Efrinita. Because since I appointed our court office one, in case dia or dia pokota, which is Edin Kunim, Ediama Ghana for. And the office no benefit dia and Femumba, Sika NASA, because OSB we ain't main country say. Or do you be at to one tell so now ebesienne Kenu Furiata ain't me about mine Ghana. What are the catcher say? Who need time Kenu Furiata about mine Ghana? And the special prosecutor office now, Uti on them. Yes, now Uti. You better say a Christian council. Yeah, Pamucho.
Right.
Tama former president Akufo-Addo. Elsewhere Nyankopon Obesi Cathedral. Ediama Ghana no. Na me no me ni ni ho. O see oye use taxpayers money. O fancy cathedral. And na she business na e wo ho. She get before dying. She passport office na e wo ho. E dan papa yes ye enche.
Right.
Na ye bubu side ni negu. Na mu sofofo yi. Amafo sika omudi to correction kakra. Mudi akoka na nado ho. Abra obi wa soro wonu ma. 50 Ghana and 100 Ghana.
Thank you, Bright. I think you've made your points. Let's hear from another person. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Ebeta.
Prakasa, it's good to hear from you as well this morning. Talk to us.
All right. My main chair that Kramer, your good board. Manager, and I was also banning all of the constituency. You can head office of the transportation. Yeah, Mr. I'm sure the actor or model to there was from the onset, and I started to know office and another to needless, and MPP are capable of doing that. Look at for time or two fast track high court and illegal quarter. It wasn't meant to even fight corruption. It was meant to jail the NDC where appointees illegally. Or maybe jail where they are Tatu I'm a Tatu in any case. Still, almost how you suicide the Jerry Papano. So now Tatu on your ex convict when it comes to the way law. And then I might some way now function. The same thing applies to the way officer of social prosecutor. If you tell me say only all the prosecutorial where they are the powers, society attorney general, and the powers in the ya pioneer the man so no friend you know so then who the reason why the office no because office na into prosecutor but then na meanwhile there was state where prosecutorial where offices be and to the office of the special prosecutor and patrol young gunia for office then create space and find where and go and get because one member of mine is than the way office of the special prosecutor.
Thank you very much for calling as well. Hello, good morning. I respond. I do not say that. Thank you very much for calling. Kwesi Poku, it's good to hear from you as well. I know the Amasaman constituency. Talk to us.
Yes, sir. As a citizen of Ghana. Somebody said, "Me Kwesi Poku, me a Ghana, you will me Bema." The charm them, me moja so Ghana, for us, so you never be chilling. The person be bisa, many party penny for say. Special prosecutor, on a fast one there was to give more my Ghana. Now, the Ganko Kufuado, former president, on the big critics, and what this on one young folk see that bit one. Since our critics are or the Penibin at one or Pamono. Omuntimi find Papa crowd to prison. And then MPP are buying the Ghana Brahma or no my bomb my can look to Ghana. Nearly party about that Ghana Konyaso. His Excellency John Rabani Mahama is to an over the special prosecutor. He wants to live for Papa crowd to prison. Any of the amount for court yet Jelino. But you are going to be perceived beside His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the entire national security. Anyone who knows for you, just say, some special prosecutor now who want to Ghana for China, Munguno, Mupapa, Munguna, or Munchero, or Munchikin, for it's in the summer. So, a cook or house in here. Special prosecutor, a baby, a job, my love, Papa, and Munguno, no more searches, and the other fact. To prison.
Thank you. Thank you very much for calling as well. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, Eric.
Yes, sir.
I call you Eric News Central. So this is Maestro calling from Ayawa Sunov.
Maestro in Ayawa Sunov, thank you very much as well for calling. Talk to us this morning.
Yes, let me say good morning to my MP, Honorable Jaja, and the wife, Ayo President Jaja. Good morning, Eric. Grandpa, Akadi Post, and then Honorable Tonton. You see, it is good that things are happening. I'm saying that I've seen a lot of improvement. People are saying that NDC are doing well, President Mahama and whatever. But one thing people are expecting is order. You see, Eric, we promised Ghanaians that everybody who took even a coin will be taken back and the law will deal with him. That's what people are looking at. Money that people have been looted. Talking about the cathedral money. Eric, when you compare the money of Accra Regional Hospital, the rich hospital, and the money that has been spent on the whole, the most expensive hole in Africa, it can also build the same thing. President Mahama have done phase 1 of the Rich Hospital, and the phase 2 has been there up to now. And people are quiet. And we need money to do so many things. This morning, I was listening to my good friend, lawyer, Sistus, talking about the people open defecation. Is it 5 million something? We need money to build toilets for people. And look at people open defecation, 5 million something people, and open defecation. And people are keeping our monies. We want to see the rule of law working. Money is to be taken from people and do so many things in this country. If not that, 2028 Ghana will not forgive us. We promise them. Manifesto is like a social contract with children and people. Let's fulfill our promise, and I know, inshallah, President Mahama will deliver an NDC 2018 should be okay. Good morning to my good friends.
Thank you as well for calling. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Give us your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Please, my name is Aziz. I'm calling for Dome.
Aziz in Dome, it's good to hear from you. Talk to us as well.
Thank you for giving me opportunity this morning. May God bless. Pacho, Mamin Chati, this is Director Karis McAfee, and I'm lawyer Zuma. Wait a minute, Pacho, Mr. Bisa. OS, that office, since you created that office, no, former president, and now for the buy. Omun claiming for so bakuse, in for so bakuse, na yenya woko. Me pacho, minim say in for so tina, ye juma. Because who ye juma no, opes who yan for so we juma no. But si anwa, ye juma na ye no, ye gusu boka wo. Inti adentina ye gusu ye say juma no. Inti sa office ho no, gusu ye de. Because e ka be ye bo ho. Aja say Obenwa na obi ni aba obi ni ana baba ye no wanya oye no wanya wi a na ada de ne yen gasa mo ye adwuma di ama omo so mo ye hye e na ge bi atem a ye kan no a me pa mo to mo ye ni tentem e wo parliament ho mo ye ni wi a no mo ban ko ma o me ye ma peni no ye de o resign on signing tentem because ye former president no wa judgment so ko minim say ba peni o wo susisi ano a on the on bata na money here. Let's look at it now. Yeah, can watch them now. You best passes for now. They will mudi dada. You must penny dada now. You must penny over to tell. Much me for no dada no. What you have boo and then kese never bore mine now. No yes, Jessica. Echo and see them. I'm moving for yeah. In the sun, I bore mine now.
Thank you very much for calling as well. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Mahona.
Yes, sir. I trust that you're well.
By the grace of God, I'm good.
Great.
Mr. Mahona, I'm going to say,
yes, where everybody is well.
So I can't wait to studio. Where you are near them and not come walk the capacity as well. I use one for
great.
Mamincha MP, but either I do as you do. Let me check incoming national chairman for MPP. You are honorable watching example. Minyaba, Mr. Mahona. All shed the air cost for Ghana high. You best say your software. There be a man's cacodia and you can say could and as only can watch them first. But a man Ghana mua. Yes, you talk Metro Mass 2,000 Ghana cities. Metro Mass bus. Your ton of scrap 2,000 Ghana cities. Now a software who and can watch them here. Now, most say in that National Cathedral, yes, and can watch them there. Na asofo no sawom omni omani andi ni ye get your memoir ama me padi essay amanfo abo man Ghana kro no a sere se di ma oman Ghana but na wona MPP ba aban mu a na anything painful bi yesi ya for man ska no me ka sense kan yen ma oman Ghana omo say aye which hand and am say that bi o ya which a I will say a hand thing and then sad the one that begin. So when you have your man, what the deep as well for the bread, and when you're position who are bad, let's get your phone, sassy, many now, which hand here. I dear anyone, anything, there's a way a witch. I will say a hand here. You just had the more my Ghana because a man, yes, said a bomb man, Obra, and what is the eco school. A month when you're being, and yet I got a share a more moon to home. Nothing really I can't, that's over the funny way, dear. I dreaming answer. Be you dream the message of your mama. Banner say yes, Janum. Or you get what your money can be on my. And after him, I said them Tamaku. Yama, I said them Tamaku. My fuck bonfire. Quote, I call it on the best say your mama said, oh, my member, no, my sentence, oh, my sentence, Niger terms, because we are one man Ghana for your man Ghana. our editing so our bad and also your money to omni my usually.
Thank you very much, Nana Makwa, as well for calling. But on the score of Sedinam Tamaklo, I think the Attorney General says that extradition documents have been processed, taken to the US. They followed up as the month of September, and so we will ask the questions for you. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, sir. Trust that you are well. There's a bit of a challenge in being able to hear you properly. Your line is.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Try for us again.
Hello?
Okay. You know what? I'll ask that you call us back. Your opinions are very important to us, so kindly call us back so that we can get a better connection to you and then hear from you as well. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, my brother.
Yes, sir.
This is Odewale.
Pastor Odewale, it's good to hear from you again.
Let me say it point blank. My brother. Brother Marco, God bless you. Christian Council, let me tell you, my moderator is the chairman. And the general secretary is also a senior priest in my same church. I mean, Evangelical Presbyterian, but they had it wrong. I like their first time. Yes. In fact, I will not hide anything. Some members can hate me. And I'm so close to these two great men. I'm so close to them. They are aware, but they had it wrong. Upon National Cathedral, day one, I, Odewale, was against it. Because if I vow, it's personal issue between me and my God. How can we use the nation money? So in fact, Christian Council, this time round, with all due respect, my most senior clergy, most reverend, please, if I quickly come out, because the Ghanaian youth and the general public are so annoyed. Because things that even went on, breaking down new bungalows, the most expensive food in the world. In fact, my brother, we shouldn't go there at all. It should rather be issue of Galamsey. Look at the budget for Galamsey, 7%. So are we serious fighting? I'm even told by some security experts that during wartime, when you poison a water, you are more than what? A rebel and a terrorist. So what these guys are doing, they are terrorists. But they are rebels. And it's a terrorist attack. Listen, issue. My brother, let me conclude. Let me come home. You see, Kaswa, some few people thought they are influenced in the society. Why? Because, you know, they were taking Ghana water by what? Bypassing their meter, even selling it again. So few of them were arrested. I salute Ghana Water Company, Accra West, salute some journalists in Kaswa, also salute National Security and other security apparatus who took this operation. And in fact, I will urge every member dwellers in Kaswa that if you find any illegality, especially concerning water, my brother, come to Kakaba down. 3 years now, people have pipes, they are not getting water because of these few words. Individuals who are grading the society, then we turn around and make noise. Abang. Have a blessed morning.
Thank you very much, Pastor Adewale, for calling as well. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mawena.
Yes, sir.
My name is Abolo. You can call me Mr. Common Sense.
Abolo, it's good to have you call us this morning. You get a lot of shout-outs from some of the callers. Talk to us this morning.
This is Courage McCaffrey in Ekweku is listening. Let me say good morning to him. And Operation Give Seglement. Affordable houses to TDC to manage is on course. And Alaji Alkodo in charge of operation, my boss, are saluting this morning. Mawena, this cathedral matter, to me, as I keep saying, common sense, there is no any common sense in this cathedral issue. If you can remember, Professor Anochi, Kwanse State, told His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo that he will give the state 50 acres of land at Pampasu to build this cathedral. There is no any sense demolishing houses there to put up this cathedral. So that land needs to be used for meaningful things, not cathedral. And me, I'm waiting for the 3 years to pass. I will send Nana Akufo-Addo to court for causing financial loss to the state. It doesn't make sense. Any time when I pass, I ask myself, so man will just sleep and demolish it and do hoarding there and leave it like that. And nothing is happening. It looks like we are happy about what happened. OSP, I could remember when Nana Akufo-Addo is inaugurated this OSP, he said if OSP did not prosecute people, if he said the name would scare people. I remember him saying that. And now the name is not scaring people, and OSP also is not prosecuting people. So what kind of country are we? OSP need to be abolished so that we can use any other institution about purification. Mawena, do they add those who have been using the takeaway robbers? Mawena, in the survey, you are reading it to us. A lot of people, they don't use
purification.
most of people don't do it openly. They use takeaway rubbers from the bath, throw it, especially in the Alaju. You know me, I live in Alaju. When you see any rubber bag in the Alaju gutter, it means somebody has thrown something. Have a good morning.
Thank you very much, Abulu, as well. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Mawina.
Yes, sir.
Ni
Inungwa, let's hear from you, and you'll be our last but one caller for the morning.
Thank you. God bless you so much. You know something? Honorable Abulu, greeting. Chamanjo, greeting. Honorable Kudu, I greet everybody. When you be, we call about water, west, baby. Say, about which you all my water west for machine beer. Obi a tapi nsuo fa mita netia ye di we ne tare old bucket no e betu me di 30 say nkofo ye aye water leaguer say ye yani sana e be boy a lot say let me tell you something. Some of the rooms are not say danya you must see akai nyina majority ni nyina ye leaguer e ye leaguer nti say aban we tie me ye pe ye ko China ye pe machine bia ye di be type water when hose no ebe ma ye be hu nkofo ma ye legal o manu so la ti unso ye make sure say fanatic 100 million facts and the beboa at the same time so me bawo sa asofo na omuka ba Holy Cathedral no me show me diemu omu tina no mu gi say ye paduma ma ye ma fo ma wemu sabi anya sikadidie a ye beje obi ko asori a ye gije wom sika ina mwatena se mu dwen Holy Cathedral na nya asori down na mo wom no Holy Cathedral no infa support be na di be Ghana for peduma ya mu dwen about Holy Cathedral me se omu diemu omu dwen about Ghana for be nya duma ye shout to myself na Holy Cathedral and Holy Cathedral na be di.
Thank you, Ni Inungwa. Let me pick our final caller for the morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Give us your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Yes, I called earlier on and I'm traveling bad network.
Fantastic that you be our final caller.
And I'm very grateful you take my call, and I'm going to be the last.
Yes, and so let's hear from you. We value your thoughts as always.
I am Toto Pachi. Ashima Suva Kanabin. Todia, what's your name?
Mawina.
Todia Mawina. Marekwa Fonama.
Mawpame Noveve.
Akpenema with police, a flat of you, Rapado Qatar. My good brother, you know something? I've been listening to you, but it's very hard to get this your network. It's very, very critical. By God's grace, I've gotten it today. You know something? Nanamu Aku made mention of Ferdinand Tamakul or something. My question to Nanamu Aku is that what was his president Akufo-Addo doing, or what prevented him from jailing Ferdinand?
Ferdinand has been jailed. She was jailed in absentia. She wasn't actually in the country when the trial proceeded and it came to a close, and she was jailed for 10 years. And so she's been in absentia, and this current Attorney General has filed extradition processes to have her return to answer for and serve her jail term actually.
That is fine. This shows that the SWA government was incompetent. They were clueless, and they were not. They are good for nothing. They were good for nothing, if I should say. Because if indeed they should be competent enough, they would have put in that woman behind bars before this time. Since this current government is taking the course to make her arrest or put her behind bars, that is, you know something. The president has come out clearly that when Parliament finish with the LGBTQ plus bill, he will not hesitate signing. He's going to sign it straight up. This is a president who day by day fulfilled the promises he gave to Ghanaians before giving him this nod. Right. So, fast forward, let me tell John Dramani Mahama that what happened at the cathedral was uncalled for. It was causing financial loss to the state. So when the forensic audit is ready, it should make sure people will go to prison and at the same time retrieve any peswa that was spent on that or a world-class fish pond at that rich area there, which people who does not use their common sense wasted enough money to just dig a hole and come back and tell us they were promised to God or they promised their God that they are going to build cathedral for them. At the end of the day, they told us they are not going to use any money from the coffers of government or the country. Right. But later on, they finished by squandering our money.
Thank you as well. You've got the chance to share your thoughts with us. It's time for sport. Murtala Yakubu is here. He'll do that for us this morning as to a lot that's been happening. Yesterday we lost by a 0-0, but from the little I watched, it looked like it was a much improved performance.
Yeah, it's not doom and gloom.
It was a much improved performance
over
the first
game. What we saw against Japan. And Otto Addo has promised that the team will keep improving before the World Cup proper. In March, we would come back and have some friendlies.
So no more international break too much.
No more international break too much. We will not be engaged in the intercontinental playoff. So we will be playing friendly matches while other European countries and one other African country, Dr. Congo, or DR Congo, we say, will be engaged. Dr. Congo, as we say when we were kids. DR Congo, they will be engaged in the intercontinental playoff. And good for them. The good news is that they've been seeded, so they have a bye because of their ranking. They are around 60th in the FIFA ranking. So currently they are seeded and they will be playing.
What's our ranking again, Ghana?
Ghana now we have moved to I think 67th. I have to check again.
Congo is ranked higher
than Ghana.
Oh, interesting.
Higher than Ghana. What really killed us was the AFCON qualifiers. We lost some games in there which wasn't good enough, and with what we did in the current cup, it would hurt us more. So it's likely
we'll be 80th.
Yes. So there's a huge probability that during the World Cup draw, Ghana will be in pot 4. And being in pot 4 usually or typically means you are the whipping boys. When you are seeded, it means you are the whipping boys of any group.
But if there's anything I believe, we are not whipping boys.
No, we will not.
When we get into tournaments,
of course, we will not be.
That I'm very confident about. Just we haven't done ourselves a lot.
So DR Congo, good news for them. They will play just one game at the Intercontinental Playoff. And
if they win, they are
the World Cup, and they'll be coming up against teams like Suriname, Jamaica, Bolivia, New Caledonia.
This is cool job.
And so if Nigeria had managed to sail through, it would have been like a cool job for them.
It would have been the coolest.
That is why they are deeply hurt by this, because playing against
Congo is going to
New Caledonia, the likes of
New Caledonia, you can get
Iraq
from Nima.
New Caledonia, Iraq, Suriname, Jamaica. Of course, we can beat them. We can beat them. We will beat Suriname.
New Caledonia.
So it looks like DR Congo have 1 foot. But they shouldn't underrate any team.
Yes, I mean it
will be played at the neutral ground in Mexico, so you don't have to underrate any team. But for us, we are there. We are only looking at
the USA.
There's one thing that is clear: Nigeria will be the hate watch during the 2026 World Cup for Ghana.
They can hate watch for all we care. They are not there. That's all that matters. They can hate watch for all we care. They won't be there. And so for me, that's good enough. But Murtala is here. He brings us sports right about now.
Mutala Yakubu coming up this morning. Coach Otto sees some positives in a Black Stars player and says they will improve despite their defeat to South Korea in the current camp. And also, it is big news for Curaçao, who become the smallest nation to qualify for a World Cup. Let's now settle for the details and start off with the Black Stars of Ghana, where Benjamin Asare saved the penalty as the Black Stars produced a stronger performance in their final match for the 2025 Korean Cup. However, they fell 1-0 to South Korea on Tuesday at the Seoul World Cup Stadium after Lee was left on mark at the far post and headed in from close range. Black Stars head coach Otuado has offered his reflections on Ghana's defeat and says that the team would improve.
Yeah, I think it was a good game from both sides. At the end, surely, first of all, congratulations for South Korea for the win. They were more clinical on their chances they had. I think we had good ball possession, but also a lot of chances we created, which we couldn't use, and the difference was that they used their chances, even though they missed the penalty. I think the game was kind of even. I think it was good to watch. Very dangerous South Korea from set pieces, corners, and also crosses, in-swing crosses, which led also to the first goal. And we, like I said, also had our chances. Good pressing moments where we could have. When we won the goal, when we won the ball, we could have scored, but also good counter situations. And at the end, they were more clinical, and that's why I think South Korea won.
This was Otuado on the game there, but he assured Ghanaians that the Black Stars will improve before the 2026 World Cup.
For the World Cup, there's still some months to go for us to improve. Surely also in all aspects, in pressing and creating chances, but also not allowing chances. There's still room to improve, I think, for especially for Ghana.
That is Coach Otto Addo there. Now, despite Ghana's failure to produce any results of note in both Korean Cup games because they lost to Japan and South Korea, my colleague Bill Eshen has highlighted some positives from the tournament.
I think overall the Korean Challenge Cup was a particularly good exercise for the Black Stars, especially in the second game against South Korea. The first game was a bit of a mess as Japan dominated from the off and they looked out of sync. But in the second game, they looked a lot more promising. I think Caleb Irechi has cemented his place as a very good midfielder. I mean, he's been used predominantly as a right back by Otuado since he joined the Black Stars during the Unity Cup. But in midfield, he's shown that it is indeed his natural position, and it is something that Otuado must consider in the next line of fixtures ahead of the World Cup that is in USA, Canada, and Mexico. There's also Prince Edu Kwamna, who also showed very, very good signs up front. His touches were good. His hold-up play was good. And that cheeky goal that he scored, that he was ruled out eventually for offside, did show that he does have that finishing prowess and that composure up front as well. And I think Jonas Ajete, Kojo Pepra, Jerome Opoku did make some good cases for themselves. And finally, Benjamin Asare was tested too. I mean, a lot of people have been calling for Benjamin Asare to be tested. He was tested against South Korea. He did put up a good performance, even a penalty as well. And so it's looked all good. And I think Otuado now has extra options to count on in the next few games in preparation for the 2026 World Cup.
Bill Eshen, my colleague there, on the positives from the Black Stars, participation in the Korean Cup. Now there's Premier League action today. Ghana Premier League returned with Asante Kotoko taking on Young Apostles in an outstanding game after the Porcupines drew their last two games in the Premier League. Head coach of Kotoko, Karim Zito, believes that it's an opportunity for them to bounce back.
Well, the attitude should be even bigger than the one we went in to play against Aduana. We've seen our mistakes, we've corrected them, and then we also talk about the mentality. Why should we wait for somebody to beat you before you wake up to play? And that's all amounted to the draw. But at the end of the day, it's better than we losing. So for a match against Young Apostles, we don't have any excuse. Yeah. Definitely, if we mean to win the league, it's as some matches, all who matches should be win. Yeah. No matter how.
Karim Zito, he also called on the fans of Asante Kotoko to rally behind the team.
They come in motivators. You see, when you look at the teams we are supporting outside, like Man U, what do you call it? Man U, that's why I'm saying Man U. There was a time we were being beaten everywhere, but still, when they played, you see the supporters there. The club is for them. They shouldn't leave it for anybody. Yeah. They should come and encourage.
Looking forward to this game.
Yeah, it's a good challenge. We just have to learn on our mistakes. We go back to our training grounds, correct one or two mistakes, and see how best we can bounce back to winning ways. Yeah, we just encourage them to keep supporting. That is how football is. You either lose, draw, or win. When any one of them come, as a supporter, you need to edge ahead, keep giving your support in terms of any situation, and then the boys too will be encouraged to deliver for them.
Head coach of Young Apostles, Abdul Hinan. Let's do some transfer reports where Ghana International Antoine Semenyo is expected to be the center of a transfer bidding war in the winter transfer window. Now, according to sources, a 65 million release clause in the contract of the AFC Bournemouth starman would be active in a January transfer window, with about 65 million release clause set to become active. A couple of clubs have shown interest, including Liverpool, Manchester United, and Tottenham Hotspur, all looking at getting his signature. Now let's do some World Cup qualifiers. But this time in Europe, where Scotland will go to the Men's World Cup for the first time in 28 years after 2 stoppage time goals on an outstanding night against Denmark, where they beat them by 4-2. Also in CONCACAF in North America, Curacao salvaged a 0-0 draw with Jamaica on Tuesday to become the smallest nation by population to qualify for a World Cup, and will be joined by sides like Panama, Haiti, who also book their spots. Now remember that Curacao is only made up of 150,000 people. Even the population of Accra is more than Curacao, but they have qualified for their first ever World Cup. But to the Premier League, where Thierry Henry, former Arsenal legend, has backed his club to win the Premier League.
I think the difference so far is how solid we have been, and rightly so. You're going to have to mention some guys at the back, and people do mention them, but it's the way the team defends. I keep on saying that if you don't defend well as a unit, you're going to be exposed to concede goals, and unfortunately for us the other day, we conceded 2. It didn't happen for a little while, but everyone believes, everyone thinks that it can be the year, so hopefully I'm not going to jinx it. That's all I hope for Mikel, that's all I hope for the team, that's all I hope for the fans, and hopefully we can finally win a title again.
Thierry Henry, the former Arsenal captain, legend. Now remember that Arsenal have dropped only 3 points in their first 11 games and are 4 points clear of the top of the table. And this is where we call it a wrap, where the sports updates on 3FM Sunrise. My name is Mutala Yakubu. There's more on all our socials at 3 Sports. GH, don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag Familac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag Familac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag Familac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM.
You know, I've watched you. Sometimes our people disagree with you, but I mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as politicians.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why?
Maybe, hey,
why do you panic?
The way you, Papa, you know, Papa.
Figuratively, he bites as hard as he can.
Okay.
And of course, when he puts his fangs into you, you certainly feel it. I think it pretty.
Watch Johnny's bite.
we can do better. In wrapping up, for example, Kunzo, show me the cattle grazing in the heart of the city. We say we are getting better. This was around the Korle Bu area. Cattle grazing in the city, around a place called Baba, around Korle Bu area. Cattle grazing in the city. Alote, good morning to you. This is the ring road. The ring road. You're heading towards, what do you call it? The Circle Dubai. What is wrong with us? And you have assemblies there, you have DCs and MCs there, you are supposed to have, what do you call it, metro guards there, you are supposed to have a community, everybody is there, but everybody seems to watch. Look, where the cattle were grazing, it's not far from where the police checkpoint is. And they see somebody following the cattle and shepherding the cattle and holding a stick and guiding the cattle. And they are watching. Here ends my sermon. Please call me 055-924-2717. And in the past, all these goodies were enjoyed. Today, we are told that we are getting better. But the better that we are getting, or whatever, whatever description you want to give to it or assign to it, it doesn't look better. And I'm sure that we can do better. In wrapping,
the year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamilyLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM.
been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. The year's been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamiLac 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. Hashtag FamiLac 2025. A full day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM.
You know, I've watched you. Sometimes our people disagree with you, but I mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as politicians.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why?
Maybe,
Why do you panic?
The way you, Papa, you know Papa.
Figuratively, he bites as hard as he can.
Okay.
And of course, when he puts his fangs into you, you certainly feel it. I think it pretty.
Watch Johnny's bite.
We can do better. In wrapping up, for example, Kunzo, show me the cattle grazing in the heart of the city. We say we are getting better. This was at around the Kolebu area. Cattle grazing in the city. around a place called Baba, around Kolebu area, cattle grazing in. I still don't understand why, as a country, we still collect monies from people who want to serve our country. Recently, people have been making videos, and it is true indeed. They literally bait you elsewhere with goodies and how much you'll be paid and what you'll be. They are in the eateries and in the parks, etc., sharing leaflets and talking to people, as to why they should come and join the army and all of that. In our case, you have to pay. And you literally be humiliated. You have your forms. You'll be made to move from this side. Say, hey, everybody left. Hey, everybody right. Hey, everybody go now. Everybody up. I know it's a regimented space. But can we change things the way it is? I remember that, 84,000 people were made to congregate at the Elwak Sports Stadium once upon a time. We took monies from 84,000 young people. How many jobs did we give them? How many jobs did we give them? And it looks like it's a money-making venture for everybody, from the universities to the law school to the police to the immigration to fire service to prisons to the army. It looks like it's a money-making venture for people. I am not saying that because you have space for 13 people, you should sell 13 forms. No. You can have a certain threshold, or maybe sell a double or triple. That's understandable. You have space for less than 100 people, and you sell forms for more than 2,500 people. So we are literally exploiting the people because they are desperate for jobs. And I'm saying that should not be happening as a country. And I keep telling you that some of the people at the helm of affairs back in the day when they were in the universities had jobs being pushed to them, job offers. They themselves came to tell us. They came to tell us that the UACs and what have you were literally coming to them because they were looking for university graduates. So they will come and push the offers, under their doors. After they have taken allowances for going to school, and after they have had breakfast, lunch, and supper and snacks, after they have had orderlies come to take care of their rooms. Yes. That's the reality. In the past, all these goodies were enjoyed. Today, we are told that we are getting better. But the better that we are getting, or whatever description you want to give to it or assign to it, it doesn't look better. And I'm sure that we can do better. In wrapping
Well, before we started the newspaper review this morning, I told you we had important guests in the studio for us for a conversation. Right now, and today we have a special guest in the studio. Nana Kwesi Boate Esquire is the managing director of the Ghana Publishing Company Limited, and the Ghana Publishing Company has been the statutory home of government printing and the official publisher of the Ghana Gazette for 6 decades. Today we want to examine not only what the company is, but what it does for citizens and the national pairs as well, because we know those of you in law school, you go there to go and buy your constitution and other relevant materials as well, acts of parliament amongst many other things. And so we'll seek to put all of that into perspective and have a very important conversation this morning. Esquire, thank you very much for joining us in studio this morning. I trust that all is well with you.
I'm very well, thank you. It's good to see you.
Pleasure. I think it's the first time I've been to the Ghana Publishing Company I won't say a number of times, but I've been there, but I didn't get the opportunity to meet you. So it's good to have you join us.
I wish I was there when you came.
Oh, I am sure you were around. I came to help facilitate a few things for myself.
Make sure you visit me in my office.
The next time, I have some few books I have to be buying from the publishing. So when I'm around, definitely. I'll make sure I drop by and say hello. How's the publishing company been since you assumed office as well?
It's been great. Lest I forget. Let me just steal an opportunity to say happy birthday to Justice Senor Jamefe. Do you know him?
Oh,
yes, it's his birthday today.
Then I'll do it proper when we're wrapping up.
Before I forget, yes, the Justice Senor Jamefe of the Supreme Court. Yes. The Ghana Publishing Company, it's been 8 months of very interesting experience, but I think that the company is the better for it. We have been in a learning curve consistently, and we have introduced quite a number of reforms to make the company more efficient, financially more viable, more stable, to make the staff more, in tune with the objectives of the company and all of that. We've just tried to build a better Ghana Publishing Company, yes.
Just try to build a better Ghana Publishing Company. And my colleague Helen is here with me, and so all throughout, we both will have.
I'm taking it from left and right.
Yes, it's very important that I put that on, so that when she's asking the question, you will not be like, we are ambushing you in any way or form. Perhaps we'll start from the company itself. What it's mandated to do for the betterment of persons who are listening and who hear Ghana, because I mentioned if you want to buy books, you can go there and buy books. Someone will be wondering, why do you print or do you write books and print and sell? Let's deal with what it is that you do for starters.
So you are right when you said in the beginning that we are mandated to be the state printer and publisher. Per the statute that established the company in 1965, we were supposed to be the publisher for the state. So we published the laws of Ghana. We published so the company was initially called Assembly Press because all the documents, Hansard from Parliament and all of that were published by the company. In addition to publishing those state documents, was also the responsibility to print that time what you call the free textbooks for students in Ghana, amongst other things. As it metamorphosed, the company became a commercial publishing company that does commercial printing. So we are in the same space as any publishing company that is in competition to print books, publish books, print everything else that is printable. But in addition to all of that is the sole mandate to publish and print the Ghana Gazette. And you would understand that the Ghana Gazette is a single most important document when it comes to official government communication between government and the citizenry. So, for instance, you know that after an election, when the EC declares the results, it has to be published in the Gazette before a president can be sworn in. The notice of polls and all of those things by the EC are published in the Ghana Gazette. I mean, the Bank of Ghana has to publish its by monthly liabilities and everything in the Ghana Gazette. Laws of Ghana to be published in the Ghana Gazette before they take effect and all of that. So we still do that. You want to change your name, you have to come and gazette it. If you're a chief, you have to be gazetted before you can perform those functions. You want to correct a date of birth and many other records that have to be officially communicated to the citizenry. So we do that. And then, of course, we print and sell the Acts of Ghana, the Constitution of Ghana, and all of that. But like I said, we are a commercial printer in competition with private printers around the globe. Yes.
Commercial printer in competition with printers around the globe. Just because you mentioned the Gazette on election results, that piqued my interest because after the 2024 elections, there was quite the concern about gazetting results, which will lead then to whether or not persons could be sworn in, and whether or not an action can as well be commenced in the court of law against a parliamentary candidate who the other side.
About Akwatia.
Not just Akwatia, but since you decided to mention Akwatia, what happened with the Akwatia process, Akwatia gazetting process?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I mean, that's an easy way to get out of it. But you since you've come, have you got an understanding as to what transpired? And perhaps you help us understand what the process is as well.
Well, I think that Akwatia has been put to sleep, so I don't want to open it. There was, in the Supreme Court, a motion that argued whether or not at the time the petition was filed, the Gazette, the election in Akwatia had been gazetted, and whether or not the petition was valid as per the length of time, after a long time it was filed, vis-a-vis when it was gazetted. To the extent that I can tell you, at some point, the CID department was investigating it because a report was made. They came to us and we gave the records that we had, but I would not want to disclose the details in it, especially when the people, the issue has been resolved.
So the issue has been resolved as well?
Has been resolved to the extent that Ernest Kumi unfortunately passed away. And the investigation was against him, so I do not think that there is any point, and I still have an oath of secrecy anyways.
No, I mean the oath of secrecy we respect, and the fact that you cannot disclose some of these matters, but on the subject matter of investigations, and I just want a bit more in terms of, we'll clarify that you say there were investigations ongoing. Did the investigations bother on the fact that some personnel within the publishing company would have engaged in that activity, reason for which the police were
interested? The CID department just wanted us to know, if a gazette was procured and whether that gazette was validly procured. Yes, from us, and what date the election results was gazetted and all of that. We provided all that information to the best of our ability.
And so from your end, there was no.
Once we were not involved in any case. I mean, we just had to provide what records we had, and that was the end of it.
So when the election is done,
yes,
walk us through, and we are moving away from NSQ, but just by way of education as well going forward. How long does it take for the Gazette to be made, and then what perhaps will be the process as well? Because it goes just beyond election results to other matters as well, when bills are passed and all of that.
So we, for instance, when it comes to the EC, when the EC is confident that they have fully certified any election results, they will write a letter to us with a copy of the results that is certified and ask us to publish that in the Gazette. And that is what we do. There is no time limit as to how soon the EC will bring it to us.
Right.
But we know that as soon as that letter gets to us, we have to publish that in the Gazette, because then that is the basis upon which an elected candidate can be sworn in, and so we do that with as much alacrity as we can, sometimes within 24 hours. More importantly, in recent times when we've been running a 24-hour shift, we do that within 24 hours. The same thing happens with Parliament. When an act is assented to, at that time, a letter will come from the presidency with a copy of the act that is signed in green ink by the president, and we gazette, and Parliament would eventually write to us also when an act takes effect. We gazette when the bill is laid, and
that's to notify the citizens
when the bill is laid until when it becomes law, and consistently, it is not our duty to keep the track of the timing. It is our duty to gazette it as and when we receive a letter to that effect. And if we don't receive communication, then that doesn't fall within our purview.
We'll just stay on the Gazette because I see a story here on the 29th of August where you were speaking to fake gazettes and the clampdown on same. These fake gazettes, in what categories do they fall under? Is it people wanting to change their names, or it has to do with other things?
Mostly it's been people who want to change their names. You're supposed to procure what you call a statutory declaration and bring it to us, and we interrogate the content of the statutory declaration and decide whether or not to put it in the Gazette. And so name change will come to us. Correction of date of birth. People have date of birth, an error on their date of birth, maybe that birth certificate or some document, you want to correct that, you come to us. People who get married and want to bear their husband's names come to us. So in those processes, sometimes they end up with the wrong person because they don't know that the only place you can procure a gazette is the Ghana Publishing Company. So they end up maybe in Newtown or in some place where some Commissioner of Oath is working. They say, well, we'll do it for you. And the Commissioner of Oath may take the money, not bring the records to Ghana Publishing. They create their own document as if they mimic, they duplicate or falsify the Ghana Gazette. In fact, in some cases, some have come, bought a copy for 100 cedis or something like that.
And run photocopies.
Yes, they'll remove the page and they'll clone a page and put it there. And so when we came, we introduced a number of security features on the document itself, such that you can't duplicate it. So, we had to change. You will see that the coat of arms is now a gold color because we put some security features in there, put some watermark. We've tried to make it as secured as possible. Still, people try. Of course, if you go to an institution with a gazette and they doubt it, they will reach back to us and we will verify whether or not that document is from us. And if it's not from us, you commit a felony that is punishable. And we've been consistent about, making arrests consistently and handing people over to the police and following up to make sure that they go through prosecution.
And so there is I won't ask that a team has been set up to clamp down on this, but you're collaborating with the police in dealing with this.
Yes, we're collaborating with the police. The visa and document fraud units, basically, is a unit that most of these offenses go, and we've been collaborating with them. If we catch you, we'll keep you there, and they'll come for you.
So with this, when people are looking for a gazette, possibly for a name change, what should they do? Who should they be finding? Should they be all making their way to the Kimbu area to try and have this done properly, or you have some persons within specified areas where they can find and then they go through the right process as well?
So ideally, you must come to Ghana Publishing for a gazette. Yes, at the old Assembly Press. Next to the Polytechnic and opposite Novotel, ideally. But if you're far away, if you're in Kumasi, then you will go to our office in Bompata at the SIC building, and you will go and do your gazette there. But by all means, you have to find yourself at a Ghana Publishing Company. Beyond that, the only institution where you are safe to go and attempt to procure a gazette is Ghana Post, because we have an arrangement with Ghana Post in their offices beyond Accra and Kumasi, where you can go procure, the process. They'll bring it to us. We finish the gazetting, we take it back to them, and they will deliver it to you. But last week, if you followed the news, we launched what we call e-Gazette.
Right.
We adored it, and so now you can also procure a gazette with your phone. you have to go to our website at www.ghanapublishing.gov.gh, and the link will open and you follow the prompt and you will be able to procure a gazette online and not have to come to our end. Right. It is a new portal we've just opened where letting the public know. So that is supposed to reduce the burden, and you can do it without having to come to us. We're doing a few things that will soften that blow of having to come. We make sure we are fast enough that you don't wait forever. When we came, the wait, even if you came to our premises, they close at 4:30. We've extended that to 7:30. So we wait for you to close from work if you have to, and you can come. We're still there till the evening. And we've also made sure that the waiting time, which hitherto was like 8 weeks, now the longest you wait for a gazette is 3 weeks. The premium that was, the faster service was a week. Now you take it in 3 days. Right. And we've introduced a 24-hour service. So if you come today, you can come back for your gazette tomorrow. So we're doing our best to soften that blow on the citizenry to make sure that if you need a gazette, you won't feel as though you're going through a punishment to get one.
There was a partnership, or you've undertaken a partnership with the National Service Authority when the registration process. We know there was a delay with NSS registrations for this year. You entered into a partnership. Would you describe that as fruitful? Because my producer was just hinting to me that there were a bit of challenges still, despite that partnership, which was supposed to help the applicant go through the process.
Oh, it was very successful. What happened was that before, when people have disparities in their names, they would just swear an affidavit and take it to an institution, and the institutions accepted it as a basis to change the name, which is wrong. The procedure for changing a name is through a gazette only.
Right.
So even if you swear an affidavit, you need to procure a gazette to be able to officially amend any record. So this year, the National Service insisted that the only way to make those amendments was through a gazette. And there were quite a number. There are still people who have these challenges. So when we reached out and had a discussion, we decided that instead of all of them having to come to us, we moved a group of staff to the National Service Secretariat. And because these were students, we gave them, a big discount so they could do it, at a lower cost. And we also reduced the waiting time significantly for them to a week, so you could just procure the gazette and do it. And as far as I was concerned, it was very successful. We did it for quite a number of thousands of people, maybe 3,000. Some still come to our offices. There was no reports of any challenges, except the numbers were large. People had to wait longer periods to get the service, but we did our best to serve all of them. And that was not the end. We intend to get into serious discussions with all of these security agencies that are recruiting. People have similar challenges. Their records are inconsistent. You can't amend those records with an affidavit. So you have to insist that if there is a name change, if there is need for an amendment of date of birth or any of those official records, right, you have to procure a gazette for it. We're willing to enter into similar arrangements. I don't even want to call it partnership, but arrangements to ensure that state organizations comply with the law when it comes to amending records of name and date of birth.
So I know that the police, immigration, fire service, prison service,
and the military.
And the military. The military are a screening stage for a lot of the agencies under the Interior Ministry. Their process is now starting, and so you say that there will be an arrangement of such a nature with them as well.
Yes, I mean we stand ready for these, and we're getting into discussions, but we want to make sure that they won't amend records as per names and date of birth and all of that with just an affidavit, because that is the wrong procedure.
Right.
Now, I wanted to take us back just a little bit. There's something that you said that caught my attention, that Ghana Publishing is in competition with private entities. So
Yes.
there's that commercial angle. How do you balance commercial success with this public service duty that you also provide, and what sort of takes precedence?
Well, I mean, the Ghana Publishing Company is a non-subvented agency of the government. So we have to make money. Otherwise, we won't get paid. And so we take the commercial viability of the company very seriously.
Right.
And in recent times, we're taking a lot of steps to make sure we are significantly commercially viable.
Right.
But we have statutory duties that we can't renege on. So it's a serious balance. But trust me, we are in serious competition. We take that competition very seriously, and we consistently try to position ourselves to be more competitive and to stay on top of that competition.
And how's that going so far this year? If you put this year in review, the last sort of 10 months or so, how viable?
Well, I've been there 8 months, and I can tell you, we printed the last year budget. I mean, even though it's for government, it was private sector that was printing it. Until we started a night shift, we proved to them that we could produce better quality. And last year, this year, we printed the budget. We've printed quite a number of books. There are state organizations and private organizations that were, hitherto not printing with us, who are now printing with us. Our commercial viability has increased significantly. Very significantly. And it is so because we've introduced, since I've been there, a marketing department properly so, and a sales department properly so.
Who are going out and seeking business
are strictly involved in commercial sales, commercial sales, marketing and sales. So those two departments have been very helpful in improving our viability in that area. Yeah.
All right, and the fact that you mentioned this, perhaps I want to tie this in with what your plan is since you assumed office 8 months ago. You mentioned some of the new interventions that you've introduced. For instance, on the Gazette, that seal has become golden. You've introduced a marketing and sales department seeking to, amongst many other things, improve on the viability, commercial viability. What's the plan for you vis-a-vis what the president's KPIs were? Because we know that for the very first time, the president has publicly spoken to state institutions meeting strict KPIs and being profitable, else he will merge you with other entities or you could shut down.
Well, I mean, the Ghana Publishing will be difficult to shut down because you need a Gazette at the very least. But we gave it, we went there with a vision to transforming the company and making it, a very modern, if you like, ultra-modern publishing company in the sub-region. And this vision is pretty much on course. What we have done is that we have revised our organogram, introduced, institutional reforms that has made the staff very efficient. We were the first state organization to start the president's 24-hour economy by introducing a night shift that made it possible for us to be able to do a 24-hour Gazette and reduce the timing that I have explained. And we intended and still intend to tool the company a lot. So we have established, for instance, from scratch, a digital press center. When we went, the company could not boast of, machinery for digital printing. But we've established a digital press center that is very viable and serving the public well. We are acquiring new equipment. We have some obsolete equipment that need, fresh tooling. And we're doing everything to make sure that the company stays within the competition. And the finances of the company, I can say proudly, has significantly improved. And so we are still at the stage where we're trying to position it to be like every other viable commercial entity and not just a state institution that, you know, that is thirsty and just waiting to get drops of water in its mouth. No.
And you mentioned retooling. All of this is being done without any subvention whatsoever from the state?
No. For now, no. And we understand when the company is a non-subvented government agency, and so you have to create the money if you want to spend it. And that is what people usually in government spaces don't understand. Right. That once you are a non-subvented agency, your attitude cannot be business as usual. You have to think outside the box, and you have to, look for ways to compete. So we have, resolved some of the problems we met that made us less viable. For instance, when I went, we immediately struck a collaboration with CBG, and so immediately the money collection in our premises, started. Yes, because CBG is now collecting it directly and putting it in their account. So there are no leakages there, because money is going straight to the bank.
Previously, there was that concern of revenue.
Well, I mean, if the more people handle money, the bigger the chance that, you lose revenue through that. And so the less you let people handle money and the banks handle money professionally, the bigger the chance, it's transparency and accountability you are creating in that sector, which we have done. When we went, we realized that there was overstaffing. Let's not mince words about it. The work that could be done by 100 people was being done by 250 people. Again, the habit where in a government space, you say, this minister came, you say, pick my nephew, find somewhere and put him, even if he is not qualified. So consistently, and this one wants to be MP, so the MD wants to be MP, then he has to bring some people from his constituency and show that he's contributing. So you do that, you overstaff the company, and that was what had happened, So
and this overstaffing, something has been done about it. People have been laid off.
No, so this is what we did. When we looked at the problem, the solution that came is, let's start a night shift then. So 100 people who would have been laid off were put to a night shift.
So you didn't have to employ fresh?
No,
because you were overstaffed.
Heavily overstaffed. So in 3 weeks when I went to Ghana Publishing 16th February, and on 3rd March, we started the night shift because we already had the personnel, we had equipment, and people were idling. And the people who had to go on a night shift were happy that they had become useful to the company. And then so we drew rosters and re-established the structures to make sure that we will kill overstaffing by using the extra hands on the night shift. And that way you only needed a few additional professional hands, say machine operators whom you didn't have in doubles, a few other professional hands to augment the night shift. And boom, we had a night shift, 2 shifts running. It made it easier to then do, for instance, a gazette overnight. And once you could do a gazette overnight, people were willing to pay a price for that service. So you improve revenue. Once your premium gazetting moved from 7 days to 3 days, people were willing to pay a little more for that service. So improve revenue. It made it possible now for how the budget is done. The budget will be released around midnight because you media people don't have to see it, and they are constantly working on it until like midnight. So if Ghana Publishing wasn't doing 24 hours, if the Ministry of Finance could not drive to our premises at midnight, there will be no printing of the budget, for instance. At our end, that's why they had to go to a private sector. Now they could confidently bring it to us. And now it was possible for anybody who gives us work to be confident that, Ghana Publishing, they will deliver it on time. They are working morning and night. So that's how you improve the revenue, by using the extra personnel that we had. So you need to strategize on some of these things. Otherwise, the government companies will obviously not be commercially viable.
Right.
All of this sounds like music to my ears. Especially with this angle of overstaffing and staff not being useful and still being paid. Because when it comes to state enterprises, if I tell you, when we open up the phone lines, the kind of gripe that the average Ghanaian has with state enterprises not being economically viable, not pulling their weight, guzzling from everybody else's purse, I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. But to widen the scope a bit, then, what role do you think state enterprises should really be playing to make Ghana as a whole economically viable? Because what Ghana Publishing is doing right now, I think, is certainly the way forward. But expanding that, what would you say that other state enterprises should be doing to follow along, to make sure that we're getting, the best bang for our buck? Because it just becomes demoralizing year in and year out to hear, at least from what we saw in the past, what state enterprises were bringing, or shall I say not bringing, to the economic table.
Well, that's why they say government has no business doing business, but I don't believe that. Government has business doing business, and it is just the case that we have to take, maybe because I've been in private sector long enough to understand these things, we have to take the same mentality that we do with owning our businesses into owning government businesses. Look, I go to work at 8 without fail, and I leave the office, the earliest is 7 p.m. for the most part. And, a lot of the time, jokingly, somebody will ask you, why is a business for you?
Was the business for your family?
Yes, but if we, as a people of a country, want development, then there must be sacrifices, and so it is first attitudinal change. If you've been to Ghana Publishing before and you come now, you will see that the attitude has changed. You will see the urgency with which the staff do things, and the approach to work ethics and everything, because there is leadership. And so I think that state agencies must build a mentality that even if you think the state has no business doing business, if you're put in charge of a business of the state, then you will have to, if you think that the state has no business doing business, then don't go and do the business. But once you are in a state business, and for the most part, some of these entities that are in competition, in areas of competition with public sector, you cannot go to sleep. The idea of creating SIGA and creating some SOEs to be non-subvented is that government has thought about it and realized that there are areas where, government businesses can be viable. And so they should go into the competition and go and fend for themselves. At the very least, even if you are not paying dividend to government, then employ people and let them get paid properly. And that is what happens. Maybe the other encouragement I'll give, other state agencies is that learn to do business then with government business. So I have 3 banks at Ghana Publishing. It is government banks. I'm not saying don't deal with the private sector, but government money must first take care of government businesses. It makes sense. Then beyond it, if you want to procure services, with private sector, you can. But we prefer to send the business to private sector and leave the government businesses hanging. I don't know why. And I keep telling my colleagues when I meet them, you have printing needs, bring it to Ghana Publishing.
You're leading the charge in soliciting business.
Exactly. You understand?
On the mention of dividend...
And that's not to say that I should take my TV adverts to GTV instead of TV3 or radio adverts to GBC.
We are looking forward to the commercials.
No, we'll give you some, but I'll take you to GBC first.
No, the sum. No, which part is the sum? Is it 40%, 50%?
Don't worry. You will get a significant chunk.
Thank you. On the subject matter of profit making and dividend, I heard you explain that, look, if you're not paying dividend to the state, you should be expanding your threshold such that you're employing more people. With the improvement in revenue, can you say that at the end of this financial year, or give or take, by the time the 4 years is done of President Mahama, Ghana Publishing will be at a place where if you're not paying dividend, you begin to pay dividend to the state?
I would love to. That decision doesn't lie with me as MD. It will lie with the board. Right?
It will lie with the board as whether or not you pay dividend to the state.
Yes, I mean, the decision won't lie with me as MD. It will lie with the board. And I have a very strong 9-member board and I believe in them. But we are, I can tell you we're doing very well. But there is a lot to be done. You know,
in terms of taking care of the business.
Yes, we have a 60-year-old structure that leaks when it rains. You know how old government structures sit there. We're still working on fixing the structures. We have obsolete equipment significantly. We still need to buy a lot of equipment consistently to come to the point that I was describing. An ultramodern, publishing organization in West Africa. There are a lot of areas in publishing that we don't do. Printing that we don't do. We don't do security printing, for instance. It's very expensive, but we would love to do it. Why can't the banks get their checkbooks from Ghana Publishing? That's an area we have to invest in if we can. There are a lot of things that the company lacks. And so the board will have to decide whether we have satisfied enough of the needs of Ghana Publishing and whether it is time to pay dividend to government. I just want to make sure the business is profitable. And for now, we are on course with that very much.
These additional security printing and others, would it require some investment to help you realize that?
It will require significant investment to help us realize that. Now, where the significant investment will come from is the question, isn't it? Whether or not we will be able to save enough, and when I'm talking about significant investment, I'm talking about like $10 million. Whether or not we will be able to, when will we be able to save that to do it? Whether or not we'll have to go and borrow that from a bank, whether or not, government will have to invest in that area if government has enough, because government is a 100% shareholder. So the shareholder has, a right to invest in its own business. And if government feels confident enough that, we are commercially viable enough and wants to invest in it. But by all means, for my vision, for as long as I'm at Ghana Publishing, I do not want us to stop at printing Gazette and printing the Acts of Ghana. We would go beyond it. We are now doing a lot of digital printing. We will publish books. You heard in the budget recently that the Minister of Finance said that we will go back to our mandate of printing the free government textbooks. We will do it happily. We would go beyond it as and when we have the capacity to improve in other areas of revenue. And security printing, for instance, is one of the visions we hold.
And what's the competition like with the private players within the space since you've come in? Because from pricing, the expectation is that your pricing will be a bit subsidized as compared to what the private player will be given out to businesses. So what's the competition like in that space?
Well, the reverse is the case.
You're actually charging more.
We're trying to not charge more, but we're compelled to charge more because we will comply with all the rules. So until the budget was read and VAT was reduced to 20% flat, if you go to Newtown, they pay 4% VAT because they're a smaller business. But I am compelled to pay 21% VAT. So even if my base cost was smaller, which usually is, just by adding VAT, COVID-19, and national health insurance alone, which I feel we are obligated to do, we would be disadvantaged. If I want to procure in bulk, I have to go through the process, go through PPA before I get approval to procure. So sometimes you procure in bits, sometimes you have to go to the private sector who is competing with you to buy paper. And so we have challenges. that makes competition even more difficult. I mean, they can pre-finance everything. They can, private sector can do a lot that a state institution cannot do when it comes to the competition to get business. So we have challenges in those areas. You will, if you did a job and we do a lot of work for government, it will take quite some time for them to pay us. How soon do you think Parliament pays us when we print the Act of Ghana, for instance? There are some which has been there for years.
So there are institutions where you have to be going to and be taking money which hasn't come through.
Oh, a lot. I mean, you know how it is a little slow when it comes to government because of processes. Yeah. And not a little slow, quite slow. The private sector is taking his money here and then, So those are challenges that we have that affect competition. But we know those are our challenges. And yet we know we are in the competition. For me, those are not challenges that should slow us down at all. And so we have prepared our minds to surmount them and to stay in the competition, and we're doing well there.
Doing well. They were speaking to the managing director, or the CEO, I should say, of the Ghana Publishing Company, talking to us about the entity since he assumed office some 8 months. 8 months ago. You said February 16, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Nana Kwesi Boateng Esquire is the managing director, Ghana Publishing Company, and so for you, the plan is set out. You're a commercially viable entity now, and the plan is to scale up from here.
Absolutely so. And I invite you to come. You will see the transformation that's going on there. It's amazing. When I sit back and look at what has happened in the last 8 months, I feel quite fulfilled. I mean, from not having a digital printing equipment to having a center for it, we from not having a sales team to having a sales department and a marketing department. We established from scratch a legal department, and even infrastructure wise, the building. I invite you to come. A lot of things have happened. And of course, being the pioneer of the 24-hour economy and all of that, there's a lot going on.
Pioneer of the 24-hour economy is one that interests a lot of Ghanaians. I know at some point the president was supposed to have visited your outfit to find out how business was going amongst many other things. Has he subsequently visited? Off the top of my head, I can't recall.
No, that visit was interrupted with an emergency visit to China, you recall, and he has been back, but quite busy. With history, we've had discussions to reschedule it. I'm sure that at his earliest convenience, he would visit.
But back to business and for private individuals outside of the government and its agencies who need printing, what's the incentive or the one reason why they should choose the Ghana Publishing to do business with?
Well, if you do business with the state, you never lose. I mean, if there was anything to be proud of, is the fact that you contribute to your nation in terms of your business. But in terms of the competition now, with our 24-hour economy and the size that we have in terms of staff and equipment, we are faster, we are efficient, we are reliable, and trust me, we deliver quality beyond one that anybody can. These we are proud of. We're faster, we're efficient, we're reliable, and we deliver quality.
Faster, efficient, reliable, and you deliver quality. We're wrapping up.
And all of these four, nobody can contest it. Not at this point. We would deliver faster, because we work day and night, we have a bigger staff. No matter how you try, we are the Ghana Publishing Company. So we're faster. We are reliable, of course, because we are a state agency, and you cannot have anybody take your money and disappear or any of those things. So definitely we are more reliable. We are efficient. We have equipment, notwithstanding that, some of them need replacement, but we're still the Ghana Publishing Company. A private person holding one machine sitting somewhere cannot compare to us. So we deliver very reliable services.
And just like I mentioned as we wrap up, if students, individuals interested in purchasing materials that you publish, because I know you engage private individuals who are seeking publishing services amongst many other things. Where else can they find the Ghana Publishing outside of Kimbu for purchases alone? And have you entered into a service where people can go online, get books, and it can be delivered to them from wherever?
We for now, for safety purposes, our 2 offices, that's the Kimbu one and the Kumasi one, are the most reliable places to procure all our services.
Right.
In addition to it, in the last 8 months is when we have introduced the online Gazette application, which you can do. We are still working towards introducing an ebook shop, which is where you can procure the books. But remember that we are selling Acts of Ghana, not just any books. We're selling, state secret or sacred documents. And so safety is very important. And so we do not want to put ourselves on the internet without ensuring that we have gone through the right protocols and security protocols. So we're working on these things. We're taking pains to do it effectively. We have not formed any sales partnership, not in a rush, because again, you do not want people photocopying the Acts of Parliament and putting it somewhere and saying, we will have an arrangement with Ghana Publishing.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we won't give you that mandate. You want to go ahead and do it without us, that's fine. But we also are concerned about what do you call it? Illegal duplication of a lot of our works where we have the rights. We have the sole rights for printing out of my first, my second to the 6 copy books. For instance, in recent times you go to Makola and some places, people would have, gone to photocopy it or illegally duplicate it somehow, and they are selling. We're cracking down on all of those things to make sure it doesn't happen. So some of the dangers with some of those partnerships is that you give a franchise and people abuse it. We are still looking into all of those, but the safest way to do business with Ghana Publishing is to do it directly.
In the last 5 years, has the Auditor General made any adverse findings against the Ghana Publishing, reason for which you made an appearance at the Public Accounts Committee?
Well, last week we appeared. Last week, I think last 2 weeks.
I think it will be two weeks.
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks, I was called before the Public Accounts Committee, as part of the Ministry for Government Communications appearance. There were no adverse findings per se. They were reviewing the 2023 audited accounts of the company. There were observations that were put to me that I explained. So they asked me about the indicators of the company. Sales indicators seem to have improved. Of course, they had improved because we're coming from COVID in 2022. So, people were working from home and all of that. If you were making, 8,000, 10,000 around that time, and you improved that to 20,000, 30,000, you're talking about 100% increase. But it was just because the COVID base was low. But one thing that I observed, because they had also indicated that the assets of the company had improved from 2022 to 2023 by 3,000%. And this is just due to, in 2023, Auditor General caused almost all Ghana companies to revalue their assets, because a lot of them had not been revalued for 20 years, and we did as well. So if you have land sitting in Kimbu, which has not been revalued for 25 years, revaluation made the figures look, 3,000%. It was revaluation, not injection of capital, and I think that the company at the time was testy enough. There should be injection of capital, there should be retooling of the company, and so you do not want to create the impression that the company is doing well and investing in the company when all that has happened is retooling of the company. So we explain these things, but that is the only appearance we've had to make at the Public Accounts Committee.
Right. I was going to say thank you very much for coming, but there's one last question perhaps that we need on the gazetting subject matter, because we know that from time to time, and I'm getting the indication it's quite an issue as well, that family heads write to the Ghana Publishing seeking gazetting to be declared as or appointment as head of the family, and that brings about some conflicts within families. How rampant is this, and how are you seeking to deal with internal family wranglings which are brought before you in the form of requests for gazettes to be declared as heads of families?
So when I came, my predecessor used to gazette heads of families. I don't know why, but I thought that legally we were not mandated to do so. Why do I say so? The Chieftaincy Act says that chiefs have to be gazetted after going through the process of vetting at the National Heads of Chiefs. And so the Chieftaincy Bulletin is a bulletin we create. The records come from the National House of Chiefs to be published. Now, to the extent that the law requires chiefs to be gazetted and does not mention heads of family, even though the law recognizes their existence, it means that the law does not anticipate their gazetting, and rightly so. A head of family is a position of choice by a group of people, and you don't need a gazette to perform the functions you perform. So usually when it comes, and it came very often, very, very often, it is because two families are disputing who is head, and the one who is quick enough to come and procure a gazette now feels they have won. That dispute does not lie within our jurisdiction. You go to court and you have it determined. So we felt that it doesn't lie with us, and you can come and say, 100 people in my family say I'm the head of family. I don't know them. You don't bring their passport photos. They don't come there in person. So I resolved that unless there was very, critical need and there was exceptional circumstances that required the gazetting of a certain head of family, gazetting head of family wasn't our job.
Where critical need is what?
Well, there could arise circumstances. Let's say, for instance, that Dotunfo has to travel with his head of family, and maybe in the course of a visa application or something, some irregularities observed. But we know who is Dotunfo, so if he swore an affidavit that this person is my head of family, we will have no doubt to confirm in a gazette that indeed we're convinced that the person is head of family, and that for the records, that he needs it for, a gazette must be given. But the general view that a person who is head of family, and it's more here in Accra, because in Accra, lands are vested in families rather than stools. So some heads of family come and take a gazette for purposes of taking dominion over lands so they can sell. Some for chieftaincy dispute, the head of family is the one who insults the chief. You come and procure a gazette just to do that, and it causes unnecessary litigation. There is no control. The things that are put in the gazette are sacred. They have to be facts, often beyond any form of controversy. That you are head of family, unless I'm a member of the family, it's not verifiable by me. If you're a chief, that's verifiable because the National House of Chiefs will bring me an extract. They have done their vetting and investigation, and the record is coming to me. So for that reason, yes, I have refused to gazette, heads of families. They've been threats to take me to court, in notice of intention to sue. I'm yet to be sued, but if I'm sued, I will go. I will explain to a judge, and if the judge feels that we should go ahead and gazette every head of family, the litigations will come to the court. But until then, I take the view that the heads of families will not be granted at will not be gazetted at will.
Counsel, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we look forward to having you come round again. For the young students, they can look forward to the fact that whenever issues of Gazette and some others come up, you'll be there to subsidize.
We would make our best effort. Let me just add, because I always tell that for the younger people who are getting married, please make sure that the pastor officiating your wedding is a gazetted officiating minister. And
that's important.
And the church premises where you are having your wedding is a gazetted premises for weddings. If you don't do this, your marriage may suffer sometime.
Kindly explain.
Well, the law requires that a person who officiates, an ordinance marriage is gazetted to that effect. If that does not happen, your marriage is not valid. And if the premises where you conducted your ordinance marriage, maybe your father has a big house with a big garden and it's beautiful, and these days a lot of event centers and all of that.
All of these places have to be gazetted and be given the status for which.
Yes, if they are not gazetted for weddings, then you need a special permit to have weddings there. Otherwise, your marriage is not valid. And, it can so be declared. I mean, the experience we had was for a lot of the people who had traveled, outside the country. Sometimes you have assumed your husband's name, he has used his documents to come and, take you out of the country and all of that. And you go and you are regularizing documentation over there, and they will quietly write us a letter to confirm whether or not you have your wedding or any of those were valid. And we check the records, and the marriage certificate you sent, the officiating minister is not gazetted. Because there was a lot of issue in Europe. They knew that Ghana, there's a lot of fake marriages. Also, somebody who just married a sister and and all of those. So they are keen on it, and they write to us. The problem is that when we write to them, not only will your processes, suffer, they consider these, travel, visa fraud as very serious offenses, identity theft, and you can go to jail for it. So people have to be careful.
And it's important that you mention that as your closing remark. How do people find out, for starters, whether or not where it is they are deciding to have their weddings is gazetted? The officiating minister is gazetted, amongst other things.
We're now working in partnership with other organizations to prepare a bulletin of that. It's not been done over a long period, and so we're working, to get that done. But the safest way for now, write to Ghana Publishing to find out. We'll respond to you.
You write, if you're seeking to get married and you've chosen a destination, you have to write to Ghana Publishing to understand
find
whether
out.
or not.
We would.
If one of these is absent, say the venue is not designated, but the officiating minister is, that passes.
No, it's still valid. It's still invalid.
Means all the boxes have to be ticked.
Those two boxes have to be ticked. The premises has to be gazetted, and the officiating minister has to be gazetted. Otherwise, your marriage is not valid. It's very important.
And you have to write to the Ghana Publishing to.
Well, for the most part, in the Orthodox churches, they do it in bulk. The Presby churches, they gazette their premises and they gazette their pastors. But the one-man churches, them are not gazetted. The church premises is not gazetted. And then you may have no way of finding out. If you ask your pastor and he will gladly show you his gazette, that's fine. Most parts they won't give. In fact, you will get to preaching for it. So the best way is to find out from us. And we're very willing to give that information.
Interesting, Helen. I didn't. I've known for a while, but I thought one could pass.
Trust me.
Because I was part of an engagement which was speaking about marriage, and they mentioned the need to ensure that the place of marriage is gazetted, or the officiating. Perhaps I didn't hear.
It's not or, it's and. It's and.
Okay, so it's twofold. You can't do one and not fulfill
No, you
the
can't.
other.
It's and. You need both. Any of the two is missing, your marriage is not valid.
Mawana, do it the right way.
Oh.
You should. I wish you all the best there.
Thank you very much.
So yes, thank you very much.
I appreciate you joining us in the studio. I've enjoyed the conversation. Particularly
it's been a pleasure.
This last public service announcement you've issued. So perhaps I'll ask a curious question. So for persons who will subsequently find out that none of this was done, are there steps they can take to have this done properly? If, for instance, your officiating minister was gazetted, but the venue was not gazetted,
call him to come and do a new one at a gazetted venue.
Wow.
Why have all the men in the back room now all of a sudden everybody's standing up and attention?
I don't know. I can't see behind me.
But I appreciate you joining us. That's Nana Kwesi Boate Esquire is the managing director of the Ghana Publishing Company Limited. We appreciate your time with us this morning.
I appreciate your time.
We look forward to having conversations
anytime
in the future.
Anytime.
Thank you very much for joining us in studio as well. It will take us on to a very quick break here on the 3FM Sunrise. Now, when we return, we'll take you to the ECOWAS court because we get the indication they are delivering judgment in relation to the suit or petition as submitted by Chief Justice or former Chief Justice Gertrude Saba Tokonu. And so let's go for this quick break. When we return, we'll get into those matters. let's take you to the ECOWAS court right now and get details. What we understand, and the ECOWAS court has dismissed the suit as filed by the former Chief Justice.
So in the event, as the judge rapporteur has ruled, we ask the respondent to file a defense within 30 days of the date of this order.
Come on, it's okay, man. That's okay. So that means I will have to withdraw my application so that the record of the court is proper. That's sort of.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that, counsel.
No, my lord, I will still have to leave my application because nobody's sure that they will file.
My lord, if my lord,
the order of court.
Let
counsel for the respondent, could you please wait until we conclude this issue with the applicant?
I'm saying that, my lord, with profound respect, in view of the order just made by your lordship, I will leave my application, hoping that the respondent will comply with the order of the court to file their defense within 30 days. If they do that, at the next hearing, I will have to withdraw my application because it will have been overtaken by events at that stage.
My lord, if I may be heard.
Proceed, counsel, for the respondent.
Very well, my lord. My lord, as we have filed an affidavit in opposition to counsel's motion for default judgment, and in that affidavit in opposition, we clearly stated that the pendency of the motion that was decided today and our objection to the court's jurisdiction bars the applicants from filing such a process. And I think the Honorable Court's ruling and giving us 30 days to file is an implicit dismissal of the motion filed by counsel. I'm therefore surprised that counsel is claiming and insisting that his motion will be on the record pending our filing of defense. Even if we fail to file a defense, it will require a different process, not one which was filed without jurisdiction. So respectfully submitted, we pray that the court would dismiss the motion for default judgment, which was far way ahead and was even time barred, respectfully submitted.
Okay, let's leave out the procedural niceties. The court has ruled that a defense be filed within 30 days.
We are most
the implication of no, counsel. The implication of that is the application already on file for default judgment will not be entertained in this present form.
We are most much obliged.
Yes.
So, sir, what date can we come back, having regards to the decision of the court? Since my learned friends has 30 days to file his defense, can we be guided as to when we can come back for adoption of our addresses, my lord?
Yes, notices will be served on the expiration of the 30 days.
All right, sir. Much obliged. We're very good, sir.
We are most
and I wish your lordship, I'm not likely to come back. I wish your lordship prosperous New Year, happy Christmas and prosperous New Year. Thank you very much, man.
Many happy returns, landed counsel.
Thank you, man.
And so that's the ECOWAS court, and it does appear that a motion of some sort, Helen and Sixers, they're all here. Not the substantive matter from what we're hearing, there have to be defenses filed within the next 30 days.
So that's not what we are currently listening to, what CJ was requesting, or former CJ, $10 million US.
No, it's not final judgment.
That's not the final judgment.
That dismissal we had for the CJ was a dismissal in relation to a certain motion, details of which we're getting for you right now, and the substantive matters are to be heard. The Attorney General's office has been given a 30-day period with which they are to file their defense. I think there was a lapse in filing that defense, and so the counsel of the former CJ had applied for a verdict of some sort. because the Attorney General has failed to file some a motion of some sort, really, that the Attorney General have failed to file defenses, and so they should enter judgment for them. And the AG, we had Justice Shremsai arguing that cannot be the case, and so there should be room to allow for them to file their defenses, and they've been given 30 days to do this. It presupposes this is not quite done yet,
right,
on that score, and there's a bit more that we can look forward to in terms of this matter at the ECOWAS court, even before we come down here to Ghana.
Certainly. Certainly the wheels are in motion, if you will. For many who've been asking, well, what is the status? At least we see that there is some momentum in that regard. Of course, as and when we know more, we bring that to you.
Absolutely. And perhaps we'll subject a bit more in terms of scrutiny, what all of this means for her case as well here in Ghana, because we know that she has matters pending before the courts. It was a huge subject matter when the now Chief Justice, because he's been sworn in, Justice Paul Bafo-Boni, appeared before the vetting committee in that lengthy brouhaha or battle between the spats between the minority and then the majority leaders.
That's right. Because it's the minority's contention that these matters are still pending, if you will.
And that there has been a failure of some sort in paneling.
Yeah.
To allow, but the CJ now, as he was then a nominee, responded to it and said all details or submissions and requisite filings had not been done, hence empaneling could not happen. And so it cannot be his fault that he hasn't empaneled to hear the matter, when, if you know that in a case, applications, documents, everything, defenses, motions, whatever you call it, have to be filed, processes completed, and then justices can be empaneled to hear the matter. And so it's a long list of what it is that can happen, what it is that will happen going forward, but this is what we know thus far in relation to this particular subject matter, and we'll be on hand to provide details of as and when it becomes necessary as well. But we know that yesterday the president had a lot to say. He spoke about corruption and the fact that persons within his administration who will find themselves caught up anything in relation to corruption will have it tough. But he also spoke about the National Cathedral as well. I'll have us take a listen to him again, and then we'll chew on bits and pieces of that. You've had your share or your verdict as to whether or not there's a need for us to have the National Cathedral come up again for conversation. But here's what the president had to say on other matters in his engagement with the Christian Council yesterday.
Evolutionary days. A person, even whatever they say the person has done, the person must have his day in court. And the judge must look at the evidence and decide whether he's guilty or not guilty. Society can condemn the person as guilty, but when you present the facts in court, the judge might have a different opinion. And so, even though, I'm sure most Ghanaians would want us to have one big courts, this thing, put them in, and then in 1 week we dispatch your case and then straight to Nsawam and just keep dispatching them. We have a constitution and we must follow the process. And you don't just get up and take the person to courts because you believe he's committed a crime. You must gather the evidence. Because however guilty you think a person is, if you don't gather the evidence and you just rush a case to court, the judge will throw it out. And so they say all this oral thing and this, that. The investigative organizations are working as and when they have sufficient evidence, then they take the case to court. And so we're not going to rush those cases if we don't have evidence because the public is baying for blood. We're going to go through, gather the evidence, prepare the dockets properly, so that when we take these people to court, we're sure of what it is we've accused them, that we give them the logistics that they deserve. Many of them have asked for more trained investigators and to train some more of their investigators in evidence gathering and docket building and all that. And so we're taking cognition of that, and we will assist them in that regard. With regards to the mission schools, the Catholic Secretariat was here. They raised the same issue. And
so that's the president on oral and the fact that they will not be in a hurry to hang anybody. But hearing him speak as well on corruption and the fact that no government appointee would be spared, does this give you a bit of reassurance that perhaps the approach will be different this time around and there will be no cover-ups or the usual talk from our politicians?
We have to see what happens. What is it? What month are we in? It's the month of November.
Yeah.
In the year 2025. We've seen how so far this year has panned out. And by all indications, I think the general populace has some more faith in the way that corruption issues will be handled. But I think it would be premature to pass any judgment as it stands now. There are still many matters that are pending that I think would give the everyday citizens some more confidence in our fight against corruption. I don't think we are at a place where we can say we have complete faith and confidence in the system to combat what it is that we have sort of seen in times past, if that makes sense. It's early, but it's not too early. There are signs that we can point to that things should be getting better, but there's certainly this seeming resolve coming from the president that corruption is a no-no in his administration. For me, the most important thing, especially as we talk about the outgone Chief Justice Tokonu, the level of confidence that fellow Ghanaians have in our judiciary, it's a very, very important conversation that we cannot overlook. One that I hope in the coming weeks we can talk about someone, open that can of worms, if we will, because I think there's also this sort of feeling of being gagged whenever it comes to talking about the judiciary, because of course we do have to be circumspect when we discuss our justices, right, our court system, our justice system, and that's for good reason. That's the place of last resort for you and I to go to. But also we have to ensure that if there's something to be said, we do say it so that we can move forward and reinstill that confidence in the everyday Ghanaian.
And again, it's very important that these sort of comments are coming from the president. But like you stated, it's just early days yet. And the nobody prays or wishes for scandals, but I mean, in the life of politics as we've experienced and lived in the Fourth Republic, they are almost bound to come. But the president says, we'll be tied to you. In fact, someone even asked the question, what happened to the assets declaration timelines he had set for his ministers as well, and the fact that when they defaulted, if I can use that term advisedly, or when they violated his timelines that he sets that declare assets between this period or by this period, else you forfeit your position. When it so happened, many expected that indeed people will lose their jobs, but the president took a different route, punished them, salaries and everything committed to the Mahama Cares program. In the aftermath, I think about a week or two ago, there was another paper that captured the fact that some CEOs and other appointees were yet to declare their assets. It would be nice to see action on that front. Yes, we understand that in Mahama 1, persons were found culpable and have been jailed.
That's right.
It's reassuring that the Attorney General says he's seeking to bring in Sedinam Tamaklo as well to answer or serve her jail term. But these small ones as well will count for something in terms of that long haul and being able to bring a bit of confidence, a bit more in terms of confidence in it all. Yes, we understand that the wheels of justice grind slowly. You were saying this one.
Too slow.
It grinds too slowly.
Too slowly.
And all, but it doesn't also take away from the fact that a lot of Ghanaians are looking forward to oral being able to work and work effectively.
That's right.
And so, yes, they will bid their time, but Mr. President, we can tell you confidently that by December 7, 2028, if no conviction has been secured in any of the cases that will be started, the NDC will have a very difficult problem.
True.
A huge problem. And the Ghanaians will ask the question, how do we trust you again when the one thing that we ask you to do, and every time when we open the phone lines, why is the Office of the Special Prosecutor under so much pressure?
Yeah.
And people are asking that the office be dissolved and what have you. It's because people feel there's been a lackluster approach. That's not saying that's the case. People feel that's.
But that's the perception, because some of the things that you hear, well, maybe it's the way that it's presented to us. And we had that conversation this morning that if the AG or the OSP, they call a press conference and they say that, and they say that as for this one did, or almost them saying it's a cool chop sure banger. Then for the average person, we are thinking then this shouldn't be something that should lag and drag and we are furnished with so much legal jargon. For us, they say this money was here today, tomorrow it was gone. We've traced this. Then let's see some action.
And then there will be no prosecution. It will be a difficult sell.
It cannot be
very
the case.
Very difficult sell for them if they are unable to secure convictions. And so we'll wait and see. But for us, it's time for us to do birthdays. And DJ Abiyam, DJ Abiyam on the ones and twos.
Happy birthday.